Many of you are very talented, but if you really want to wow me today, you're going to have to show something extra. Little thing I've coined heart.
I think his mom, like, drank when she was pregnant or something.
Attaboy, JD. Hustle, hustle.
I believe in you, JD. Don't listen to those motherfuckers.
I know your heart's on the football field, but I need your head in history class, Mr. Vance.
Yes, Vance, yes.
That stupid freak will never make the team. He's a loser.
Fuck you, Gavin. You and your dad are both gay.
Damn it, Vance, I wish I had 100 of you. If only you could get those godforsaken test scores up.
If you ask a hot chick to prom, I'll give you a C because history smiles upon the bold.
Asking me for my permission to ask my daughter to prom is a really classy move.
Vance past history. Now let's go beat the shit out of the Soros High Goblins.
Yo, it's JDI Vance. Me got baby face, me big boss man. Me like America, me got good plan. Mexico water make Gulf US survey. Me make Zelensky say thanks to my face. Me got baby face, me got big cheer. Trump bad, Trump good, me no care. Me write big book, kill billies and stuff. Now me important, we're tired tough. Me go Yale school, me learn big word. Now me forget everything me heard. Silicon people give me job, me take. Now me like Trump, me make no mistake. Yo, it's JD Advance. Fight, walk, folk, me say never die. Me protect kids, me born liberal. Him, them, them. America simple, only two gender. Me face, me big boss man. Me like America, me got good plan. Mexico water make Gulf US survey. Me make Zelensky say thanks to my face. Too many gender for my agenda. Went on a bender, execo the sender. Might take Panama just like na. Might take Gaza, pop then a plaza. Vance, with this my majesty.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome into CobraCast 199. I am your host, Jeremy Prime, Mage IDOT of Unit 199. Happy to see all of you here on a Friday. And come here. I have a lot going on right now. You're going to see different things going on behind me because you haven't seen her in a while, but Leia is running around here, my dog. And she's driving me crazy. I'm on dad duty tonight. So, but either way, I'll be distracted a little bit. Stormbreaker's mad at me. Apparently, I didn't see your request, Stormbreaker, because I'm worried about this damn dog running around, and she's driving me crazy right now. But that's why. So apparently, you requested something, Stormbreaker. I wasn't reading the chat prior to going live because I'm dealing with the dog. But sorry about that. I apologize. We are cool. We are cool. Put her on screen. If I can get her. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come on. Come here. Come here. Let me see if I can get her. Hang on. Come here. Come here, honey. Come here. I'm trying to send super chats for you. Here. Come here. Damn dog. Hang on. Oh. All right. I don't know how well this is going to show up on the green screen, so we'll see what happens. Can you guys see her? There she is. So she's a little rat. She's fat. You okay? You all right? So the picture with me and the dog, that's her. All right. So there she is. You okay? All right. Go lay in your bed. There, go lay in your bed. Chill out. Anyway, she's 13 years old. 13 years old. Yeah, she's a mess. So she's also a handful. 13 years old. She's getting up there. So yeah, I will not be shocking my dog like other streamers have been known to do. But yeah, so she is a part Chihuahua, part pug is what she is. Part Chihuahua, part pug. And I love her to death. I love her so much. But she's getting up there. As you guys know, my other dog passed away a few years ago, Puppy Face. He was a Chihuahua as well. So we lost him. And now we've got Leia, though. So she's still around. She's still around. That's how old my dog is, 13. She's getting up there, for sure. I think I still have, let me see. You'll see it. She's about to walk by. Look. See that? She's going to pass through the fucking green screen all night. It's going to be a disaster. Look at this, man. Like I'm missing super chats right now. You're costing me money, dog. Come here. You're costing me money. All right, sit right there, okay? Sit, okay? There. All right. Let me see if I can find there's a video, or there's a picture of her and Puppy Face, if I can find it. It's not going to be a normal CobraCast. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you right now. So just don't even expect a normal CobraCast. I apologize in advance. Yes, she is cute. She looks like a little football. Puppy tax. Gandalf the White says, I can't stand Jeremy. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Wow, look at this. Okay. So this is her. This is her and him right here. That's Leia and Puppy Face all that time ago. So right there. And he is no longer with us. I miss him. I'm not going to looking at his pictures too much because I'll just get sad. But yeah. So there he is right there. But that's my good buddy right there. I'm not even gonna look at those pictures much more because I'll just get sad. Anyway, let's get started. Let's not talk about animals or I'll start getting emotional and be a bitch. Matt Stranger for $50 says, hail the mother effing snake pit. Thank you, Matt. Hail to you, brother. Appreciate that. Nandy says Jeremy is Alabama Hassan. John Orchard says, I met you at MegaCon, the good-looking old guy. We talked about our Mossad connections. Oh, I said that out loud. My bad. You're a really cool guy. I didn't mean to blow your cover. See you next year at MegaCon. Thank you, John. I appreciate it, man. Let's not talk about those Mossad connections. Not a good idea at all. But thank you. It was a pleasure hanging out with you and talking with you about our Mossad operations. Stormbreaker says, all hail Cobra Commander Jeremy and King Trump. Thank you. Alex Arrow Cave says, Jelly Roll WWE theme song, Who's Your Daddy? And then Who's Your Daddy with Toby Keith. That's right. Gerald Armstrong says, oh boy, Jack Posobiec was not having a good day today, crashing out and being a reply guy. It was embarrassing, okay? It was embarrassing. We actually have an article on geeksandgamers.com talking about that. Posobiec looks like a fool today. And I don't really understand what his point is. I don't know what he's trying to accomplish right now. But if you go over to geeksandgamers.com, we actually do have an article about this. But yeah, Posobiec has made a complete fool of himself today. Here's our article with a lot of the response to. But Jack Posobiec calls Lord of the Rings overtly pagan, sparking conservative backlash. And I mean, this guy has just made a fool of himself today. He got community noted. He went after Gary. Gary ratioed him to hell. I mean, it's absolutely brutal, the ratio that Gary put on him. Hang on. So the brutal ratio that Gary put on him was crazy awesome. And if you remember years ago, he and I actually had a back and forth. Do we have this right here? This isn't the first time that Jack Posobiec has disagreed with his fellow conservatives about art. He was famously derided for works of Taylor Sheridan as deceptively inserting identity politics, accusing him of pacing and leading, suckering people in with the promise of right-leaning narratives, or at least a benign one, before the other shoe drops. And so basically, Jack Posobiec said that people think the Yellowstone hick lib meme is made up, but the new show was made for this by the same writer. Sylvester Stallone goes woke. So let me remind you, he says Sylvester Stallone goes woke, okay? This is the same guy that was hanging out with at Mar-a-Lago with Sylvester Stallone after this. After he called Sylvester Stallone woke, he was hanging out at Mar-a-Lago with Sylvester Stallone. So I responded, and I says, this was an excellent scene. It's very relatable, especially with the world that Tulsa King takes place. Try watching the fucking show. And then, of course, he blocked me over that. So, again, man, this guy's just a clown. The fact that he decided to try to go after Gary is absolutely insane. Yeah, crazy. Jeremy, I'll forgive you if you play Trump YMCA now. I'll send you a $50 super chat. You're going to send me a $50 super chat to play YMCA? Do you think I can be bought like that? Do you think I'm just that shallow? Do you think that's how I operate?
It's fun to stay at the
There we go. Party up in here. Thank you, Stormbreaker, for the 50. And thank you to APG for the 20 gifted memberships. Thank you. Always supporting. Thank you so much. That's 20 gifted memberships. That's a lot. Okay, that's a lot. Hydronic says, can we rename the snake pit to the Snape pit? I mean, because you know. Thank you. You guys are insane tonight. Thank you for all the support. But yeah, we do have stuff to talk about. You are welcome, Stormbreaker. You are always welcome. And it was good meeting you at MegaCon as well. Meeting many of you. Crazy Clown Town says, puppy tax. My girlfriend loves her CobraCast hoodie. Let's go. Love to hear that, man. Love to hear that. Ministry of Wrong Think says Zap Tax. Thank you, Ministry of Wrong Think. Trans Girly for 10 says, okay, I need a man's perspective for my boyfriend's sake. What? I'm not even reading the rest of this shit. I'm not even doing it. All right. I'm not even reading the rest of that. No, not for $10. I'm not reading that shit. I'm not doing it. No. Mod Eric says Jeremy's AI dog here getting super chats. That's very true. Ministry Wrong thinks says just don't give her the Hassan special. Stone Farmer says, hail chat. My D-Day Cobra hoodie shipped today. Can't wait to spot it at Magic Mountain. Hell yeah, that's awesome. Mod Eric says Jeremy tried to get Cam Man to wear a dog collar after the meetup. Luckily, he escaped before being put in the GIMP suit. Let's see. John Jones says Poso is just a bad faith troll when it comes to movies and TV. He really is. It's really bad. Grapthar Hammer says the gift I wanted to give you at MegaCon, besides the Breaking Bad graphic, finally arrived. I'll get it mailed off soon. Hope you like it. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay, well, we do have some things to get to outside of Jack Posobiec being a complete and total retard. I think we should probably talk a little bit about American hero and legendary golfer Tiger Woods, because Tiger Woods, listen, man, this is just a bad situation. But yeah, Tiger Woods had another accident today, and even President Trump talked about it a little bit, but he actually has been arrested for DUI. We're talking about arguably the greatest golfer in history, and at one point in time, the biggest athlete in the world. And he's had a rough go of it, man. He has had a really rough go of it. Try to find Trump's comments on it first. So Trump made some comments on it right here. Here we go.
I feel so badly. He's got some difficulty. There was an accident, and that's all I know. Very close friend of mine. He's an amazing person, amazing man, but some difficulty. I don't want to talk about it.
So there's Trump talking about the situation, and here we go right here with Tiger Woods.
Fox News alert: Tiger Woods is in jail, arrested for DUI after flipping his car this afternoon, right in the middle of another comeback. Police say Woods was speeding down a narrow 2-lane road near his home in Florida, where the limit's just 30 miles an hour, when he came up fast behind a truck.
The truck pulling a trailer was trying to slow down and pull over, and Mr. Woods was overtaking him at a high rate of speed before he clipped the back end and rolled his vehicle over on the driver's door.
His Range Rover rolled onto its side and slid.
Yeah, I've heard that it's I've heard it was pills, probably, because I don't think it was alcohol. So you may not know, there goes Leia walking behind me again, just ruining the wonderful shot we have here. But Tiger's been through a lot with injuries and surgeries, and he's had a lot of personal issues and all of that. So yeah.
Slid down the road. Tiger crawled out the passenger side window. He wasn't seriously injured. No one else was hurt. That's incredibly lucky.
Very
this could
lucky.
have been much, much worse for him or anyone else. And when police arrived, Woods didn't seem all there.
On scene, We had DRE experts evaluating him, and they believed from on scene that he was not impaired on alcohol. They believed it was some type of medication or drug. And again, at the jail, he cooperated with the urine, or I'm sorry, he cooperated with the breathalyzer, and then the urine he wanted no part of. Mr. Woods did a breathalyzer test, blew triple zeros, but when it came time for us to ask for a urinalysis test, he refused, and so he's been charged with DUI, with property damage, and refusal to submit to a lawful test.
This has happened before. In 2017, Tiger was arrested after being found asleep at the wheel after mixing too many pills. In 2021, there was a serious crash. No evidence of impairment there, but police never tested him. His injuries were severe: emergency surgery, open fractures in the lower right leg. A rod had to be inserted to stabilize it. And way back in 2009, there was the crash outside of his house when his entire image collapsed after his wife caught him sneaking around and chased him down the street with a 9-iron. Tiger Woods knows comebacks. This was supposed to be one. He had just returned to competition this week, his first time back in over a year, after more injuries and more surgeries. He was deciding whether his body could handle the next Masters next month. Now, that decision may already be made for him. Here's the president moments after hearing the news.
I feel so badly. He's got some difficulty. There was an accident, and that's all I know. Very close friend of mine. He's an amazing person, amazing man, but some difficulty.
Tiger Woods changed the game of golf. He's an international icon. People love him. I love him. We love to watch him play, but he's out of control.
He is. He definitely is. He needs his license taken from him. Now, I saw that there was an issue with Barstool Sports. Dave Portnoy tweeted out, "Why hasn't Barstool covered the biggest story in sports?" Well, this just came across my desk, and this is a text message. It says, "Riggs told me not to post a Tiger DUI. FYI, if anyone was wondering why we haven't yet, just letting you know." Now, Riggs is the guy that runs the Barstool Sports golf page. He has addressed the accusations. This right here, this is the type of soldier you want on your side.
You think I told our team to not post about Tiger Woods' DUI and to protect him? You're goddamn right I did. You want me on that wall. You need me on that wall. We'll protect Tiger Woods till we fucking die.
Protect Tiger Woods at all costs. He's an international icon. Protect him. He is an American legend. All right. Yeah, it's them. It's their shtick. It's funny. But what's not funny is that Tiger Woods clearly has a serious problem, and he needs help. And I'm hoping President Trump will, offer any assistance that he can. Look, man, I don't know what it's like to be famous. I can barely, handle having a few thousand people watching me on a live stream. Tiger Woods at one point in time was one of the most famous people in the world. I don't know what that's like. Very few of us know what that's like. But he is clearly, he has not handled fame as well as others. And he's struggling right now. And we probably have seen the end of Tiger Woods as a top tier golfer for sure. And that's sad, because when this guy was on top of the world, man, I'm just telling you right now, man, there is nobody. Like, there's this one shot that if I can find, I know a lot of people don't care about golf, but this guy was on another level. Like, he really was. Let me see if I can find it. There's this one shot. It was in, this is in 2019. Okay. This is retarded. Okay. So I want you to understand, for the people that don't know anything about golf and sports and all of that. All right. There's a tree in front of Tiger. The hole is all the way on the other fucking side. Okay. Now, I'm not going to make you sit through the whole 3 minutes here, but Tiger assesses this for several minutes. Okay. He assesses this. He changes clubs multiple times. This is an artist right here, okay? So he's not even ready to go yet. He changes out his clubs multiple times.
A little bit more bend
Watch
here.
this.
You can see the rehearsal there.
Yep, he's got that kind of helicopter.
It's going to go
practice swing.
Yeah, he's going to go all Arnold Palmer on us here, I think.
And if he doesn't pull this off, Zinger, it will just stay straight left. So if there's anywhere to miss it, that's a pretty good place to be.
Look how open his stance is.
Look at that finish. This is Tiger the artist.
Wow, what a shot. Just ricochets back toward the hole. I mean, he sets you up. He goes to the hole.
That is,
so you know what he's going to.
that is retarded. That is so stupid that he was able to do that. Like, that is crazy. Look at this. Oh my goodness, man. Like, crazy talent, man. Next level, like, generational talent from the bunker. People are like, that's AI. Yeah. I mean, honestly, if we were to see this today, you would think there's no way that's real. But yes, it is in fact real. It is real. It is real. But yeah, man. So we're never going to see that guy at, you know, that level again, sadly. And so prayers up for Tiger Woods. Hopefully he can get his shit together because ultimately you're going to get somebody killed. And he needs to probably have his license taken from him. This is the third accident that he has had in the past, you know, whatever, you know, decade or whatever plus. He needs to get his shit together, man. Probably needs to have his license taken from him. I mean, you're a billionaire. Pay somebody to, you know, pay somebody to drive your ass around or take a fucking Tesla Uber or something like that, man. Like, if somebody's going to get killed. So, on that note, we got more stuff to talk about, and we will talk about it. Let's see. Trump never drives. Tiger should just be one of those guys who has a driver 24/7. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, ultimately, when's the last time Donald Trump did drive? I don't even know when the last time Trump drove was. That's kind of crazy, actually, to think about that. I don't know the answer to that. I know there was a skit where he was driving at one point in time. So, okay. So our boy, Benny Johnson had an interview with, 48. That's right. And we're going to watch some of those clips. So, Benny Johnson interviewed JD Advanced. D-Day Cobra, it was 2017 the last time he drove. Talking about Trump. Okay, here we go. So listen to this. All right. Talking about aliens with JD Advanced.
You going to release all the UFO files?
We're working on it. It's funny. When I came in, I was obsessed with the UFO files. And then you start getting really busy worrying about the economy and national security and things like that. But I've still got 3 more years as vice president. I will get to the bottom of the UFO files.
Okay. Have you peeked? Have you done a peek?
Have I what?
Have you done a peek? I mean, like,
So I actually haven't. I
the
have
full
not.
Independence Day.
I have not been able to spend enough time on this to really understand it.
Yeah.
But I am going to. Trust me. I'm obsessed with this. I've already had a couple of times where I'm like, all right, we're going to Area 51. We're going out to New Mexico. We're going to sort of get to the bottom of this. And then the timing of the trip just didn't work out. But trust me, anybody who's curious about this, I'm more curious than anybody. And I've got 3 years of the very, very tippy top of the classification. I'm going to get to the bottom of it.
Okay. So you haven't been to Area 51 yet?
Not yet.
Some
Not
people
yet.
say they keep the UFOs in Ohio.
Hangar 18, Hangar 18, right?
I've
I've heard that as well. But I don't know. I haven't looked into it yet.
Okay. All right. Well, we're waiting for it. We saw aliens.gov.
You know me.
We saw aliens.gov.
I don't think they're aliens. I think they're demons anyway, but that's a longer discussion.
Well, I can't let you go without a follow-up on that.
Yeah, okay. You can't, yeah. So JD, you can't sit there. So he doesn't think they're aliens. He thinks they're demons.
Barack Obama is on this podcast. We're waiting for it. We saw
And
aliens.
you know me.
We saw
You know me.
aliens.gov.
I don't think they're aliens. I think they're demons anyway, but that's a longer discussion.
Well, I can't let you go without a follow-up on that. Because Barack Obama is on this podcast and he goes, yeah, aliens are real, but like, here's where they're not. And, you know,
I did not.
And so Obama says,
I didn't
yes,
hear that
aliens
one.
are, he gets asked point blank, are aliens real? Oh, yeah. And then he goes, but they're not at Area 51. And
well, where are they, bro?
Well, that's what he says. Okay. Right. That's a great question.
I need
Trump
to see
had to go
this-
save
I
him,
need
and
to
he
see
said
this
he's going to
podcast.
declassify.
Okay.
So you think they're demons?
Well, look, I think that celestial beings who fly around, who do weird things to people, I think that the desire to describe everything celestial, everything is otherworldly, to describe it as aliens. I mean, every great world religion, including Christianity, the one that I believe in, has understood that there are weird things out there, and there are things that are very difficult to explain. And I naturally go, when I hear about sort of extra natural phenomenon, that's where I go to, is the Christian understanding that, you know, there's a lot of good out there, but there's also some evil out there. And I think that one of the devil's great tricks is to convince people he never existed.
JD's awesome. By the way, hang on. Let's see here. I saw something in the chat. See if I can find it. Oh, Based Pirate says, you're retarded if you think aliens are demons. Fucking stupid. Okay. You were in the Friday Night Tights chat, and all you did is bitched about me. Now you're on CobraCast, where I'm the only person here, and you're still here. Why were you bitching about me on FNT, talking about how much you hated FNT if I was on it, and now you're here in this fucking chat where I'm the only motherfucker here? Explain that. Harley Dave says, Jeremy, we bitch about you too. Marmilla says, yogurt fingers is a flaming fig. Yeah, I saw him in the chat, and he says, D-Day Cobra, sign up for the armed forces, coward. Yogurt fingers. That's what I call your mom, by the way. But, sir, I served multiple tours in the Modern Warfare 2 lobbies, okay? I've already told you about this. Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops. They called me back up for Black Ops. Actually, it's Black Ops 2. But I served through Modern Warfare 1 and 2 and Black Ops. And then I retired. But then they called me back up for Black Ops 2. So, because they knew. They were like, you got a really good KD. And I was like, well, thank you. I appreciate it. As a matter of fact, and I'll show you how it was back in my day, okay? Hang on. Let me see if I can find it. Because back in my day, this is how it was, okay? And now I can't speak to how it is now, but because I'm not really in the rotation anymore. But right here, let's pull this picture up. This is how it was back in the day, okay? This is 100% factual, okay? When your KD ratio was above 2 and you also make memes. Bros. Okay? Like, that's all it took to get ladies back in the day. KD ratio above 2 and you made memes. Boom. You had it, man. You were living large back then, okay? That's it. Simple as that. Simple as that. All you needed was a 2.0 KD and memes. Done. It's over. Soggy Waffle says, try to send the last stream, Hail the 199. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Tree Bear says a Secret Service agent shot himself in the leg today, escorting Jill Biden, Beardo Fat. I saw that notification. It's absolutely crazy. So, but yeah, it was, you okay, honey? You right there? All right. My dog's coughing. She's old. Cole Howler says, I came to Florida to hang out with you, Ryan and Jay. Praise Ara. There we go. Phil says, Kata shorter than Tiger, and Tiger is half Asian. John Jones says, I remember eons ago, Tiger accidentally pulled off the miraculous chip-in birdie, and even he couldn't believe it. Yeah, man. Absolutely. Boomer dog. Gear Master says, I believe they are demons. Here is my retarded tax. Cole Hauser says, I'm streaming Modern Warfare 2. Lobbies are still open. Dude, that is actually good. Like, that's very exciting to hear. Let's see. Teresa says, the last time Trump drove New York Post was in 1984. Holy crap. That's kind of crazy. That's wild. Not sure what, I know somebody else said 2017, but Trump wasn't driving even before then. So, also from Mr. JD Advanced, we've got this clip right here. Okay. Listen to this.
Talk about Ilhan Omar.
Ilhan Omar. Listen to what JD Advance says.
Talk about Ilhan Omar and Tim Walz.
Exactly.
And obviously, Ilhan Omar, the president and the White House have been out saying that she married her brother, that there is immigration fraud going on here. These are deportable denaturalization offenses. Can you give us an update on that?
Yeah, so we actually think that Ilhan Omar definitely committed immigration fraud against the United States of America. And I talked to Stephen Miller about this actually recently. We're trying to look at what the remedies are. That's the thing that we're trying to figure out is what are the legal remedies now that we know that she's committed immigration fraud? How do you go after her? How do you investigate her? How do you actually do the thing? How do you build the case necessary to get some justice for the American people? There's a related issue, Benny, which is she has been at the center of a lot of the worst fraudsters in the Somalian community. So do I know that Ilhan Omar was aware that the Quality Leering Center was defrauding the American people? I'm not certain of it, but we at least need to investigate it, because if people can commit wrongdoing without even the fear that they're going to be found out, that's a fundamental problem. So I'm worried about the immigration fraud. I'm also worried about what did Ilhan Omar know about what was happening in the Somali community.
Is that how you spell her name? Ilhan? Ilhan? I thought it was Ilhan. I don't fucking care personally.
And why was nobody looking into it until, frankly, Donald Trump came along?
Ilhan. Is that how it's said? New meme, maybe? I don't know. JD Vance is pretty smart, so maybe we're the retards. I'm not sure. I am not sure. Now, I saw this from Jesse Waters, says Iran war could end in weeks, not months. So let's hear this update. Now, this is something, too, that I think a lot of people haven't really talked about, which is interesting. So, to be fair, I haven't talked about it either. And I meant to talk about this last week, and so many things leading up to MegaCon happened. But this needs to be noted about the situation over in Iran, okay? So here's a situation that many people, maybe they don't know about it. To be fair, maybe the Trump administration has not done a good enough job explaining this. Some people don't want to do research. I get all of that. But are you guys aware that the Biden administration actually unfroze $6 billion that went to Iran to help fund their terror? $6 billion. That's right. Biden's $6 billion ransom payment to fuel Iran's terror machine. The Biden administration has reached a dangerous deal with Iran to release 5 American hostages in exchange for 5 Iranians held in U.S. jails and at least $6 billion of Iranian assets frozen in South Korea. The hostage deal is alarming because it rewards Tehran for seizing American citizens and encourages it and other outlaw regimes to take more hostages. When the Obama administration paid approximately $1.5 million to Iran to gain the release of 3 Americans kidnapped, blah, 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 blah. And guess what? The Trump administration secured the release of some of the hostages without ransom payments, relying instead on swapping prisoners. So the Trump administration didn't pay any ransom payments. Joe Biden definitely helped fund terrorism. And of course, so did Barack Hussein Obama. Now, these are some of the things that people need to be aware of when, of course, you had President Trump, who was in office for 4 years. Then you had, the fake president with the 2020 bullshit election. And at that point in time, a lot of things happened in those 4 years, a lot of things that set us back as a country, a lot of things that put us in a really tough spot. This is one of the glaring things that, that we have to acknowledge, like what was going on in Iran, how close were they? And I know that's something that's up for debate, but it's something that needs to be of note.
Fox News Alert Secretary of State Marco Rubio says the war in Iran could be over in a matter of weeks, not months.
We have objectives. I told you what those objectives are, and we are very confident that we are on the verge of achieving them very, very soon.
Rubio told G7 allies that this could...
Yeah, this comment right here is perfect. It's okay. Iran promised not to use the money for bad stuff. Thank you, Jeep guy. And I'm not being sarcastic towards you, because I know what you mean by that. You're being sarcastic, and I'm appreciating your sarcasm. But that's the thing. Iran promised that they weren't going to use the money for bad stuff. So, guys, what's the big deal? All right? They promised us. So it's not even like, what's the big deal? Why are you guys getting worked up? They said, hey, no big deal, man. Pinky swear. That's how it actually happened. Joe Biden said pinky swear. I was like, oh, I didn't know we had a pinky swear. Chaser on interweb for $50 says some of these people must not have a window to lick tonight and are hanging out in the chat. Hail the 199. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. I mean, look, ultimately, there's a lot of negativity right now if you're a Trump supporter. There's a ton, more than I have ever seen right now. And it is meant to demoralize you. All right. And there are people that are being straight up demoralized as content creators. They are scared to death. They can't take it. They can't handle it. I was born in negativity, molded by it. I didn't see a compliment until I was a man. But ultimately, it is what it is, man. You can see the language from these people that are pushing all of this, and it's just a bunch of bullshit. I mean, I'm not saying that there aren't fair criticism out there, but at the end of the day, man, nobody's like, I'm already retarded. So, you're not going to hurt my feelings. That's the beauty of having a chat that constantly shit talks you. I was born in it. I was molded by it. So it's all good, man. But I do appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
Be wrapped up in 2 to 4 weeks, as the Pentagon's currently considering sending 10,000 more ground troops into the Middle East. And the clock continues to tick for the mullahs. The president says the Iranians are on their knees.
Iran! What's the latest with Iran, sir? On Iran, they are being decimated.
Okay, first of all, let's talk about Trump. Does not move like a 79-year-old man, dude. Trump actually looks better rested than I've seen him in a long time.
Knees.
Iran! What's the latest with Iran, sir? On Iran, they are being decimated. They are talking. We are talking now. They want to make a deal. Very simply, our military is the greatest in the world by far. Iran is being decimated.
So we're at a point where, Trump essentially did want to deal with Iran before all of this started. That's what he wanted. He wanted a deal. They disrespected him. They disrespected the United States of America. And they basically told America to go fuck themselves. Well, this is the price you pay when you fuck around with President Trump. I'm sorry that a lot of panicans don't like that. I'm sorry that a lot of panicans don't get this. But Donald Trump has spent months and months and months negotiating with them to get a deal. He did not want to go to war. If you are not retarded, you can understand that. He has been negotiating. He has been trying to get a deal. They essentially told him to go fuck themselves, or fuck ourselves is what he said. And so fuck them. Let's do it. All right. So you pissed off President Trump. This is the price you pay. Now you want a deal, but he's not going to just give you what you wanted, because you should have given him the deal when he wanted it. Now he's going to basically do as he pleases until he sees fit. Simple as that. Now, also, there's a lot of ramifications with China involved with this, Russia involved with this. So You fucked around and you found out. Simple as that. All right.
It's only going to get worse. Our kamikaze speedboats have just entered the war zone for the first time in the history of combat. These robo-skippers, also known as GARCs, are like remote-controlled jet skis that explode on impact. They're cheaper to make than missiles and have already logged over 2,000 miles in epic fury. And they're targeting Tehran's fleet of high-speed attack boats. The Strait of Hormuz is becoming a testing ground for next-generation warfare. The USS Abraham Lincoln was also pictured just outside of the strait in the Arabian Sea. The warship's nearly the size of the Empire State Building, and it's untouchable.
A very valuable thing that we had floating underwater, namely an aircraft carrier, biggest in the world. And they were shot, 101, going 2,500 miles an hour. And out of the 101 missiles shot, 101 missiles were shot down.
The USS Tripoli is almost in position, and on board, the Marines. New photos show the 31st Marine Expeditionary Unit conducting a live-fire deck shoot from the ship, preparing for action. Joining our F-35s in the air, the F-15 Strike Eagles, designed for high-speed, long-range, and deep targets, both in the air and on the ground. New video shows U.S. forces continuing to decimate key military infrastructure deep inside of Iran. In 4 weeks, 10,000 military targets have been hit, and we fired over 850 Tomahawks. 2/3 of Iran's missiles have been destroyed or buried under rubble. Trump says the target list is shrinking.
We're just floating over the top looking for whatever we want, and we're hitting it, and we have another 3,554 targets left, and that'll be done pretty quickly.
As we go into the final stage of the war, hopefully, the campaign's been more focused on strategic targeting. We're settling in at a sustainable pace of bombing between 300 and 500 targets a day. We're also using shorter range munitions that are far less expensive. Meanwhile, the Israelis had a big 24 hours. After taking out the Guard's Navy commander, the IDF just struck gold. Iran's main hub for missile and mine production. The IDF says the facility was also used for planning maritime attacks and warehousing anti-ship and submarine missiles. The Israelis also carried out attacks on 2 of Iran's largest steel plants.
I got to show you this clip really quick because this is starting to get some traction right now. One of one, President Trump. This is Trump right here, just now. Just listen to what Trump says.
Thank everybody very much, and I'm asked to take a few questions. And unlike other politicians, they would like the questions screened. I don't ask for screening of the questions. You can ask me anything you want. You can talk sex. You can do whatever the hell you want. I'm here for you. Thank everybody.
Why would he say that? Holy shit, dude. Trump.
That should set the regime back significantly. And then to top it off, they hit their nuclear program, including a heavy water reactor site in the center of the country and a yellow cake plant. Our Gulf allies want more. They're telling the White House that ending the war prematurely would be a colossal mistake. They want Iran's missile capabilities completely eliminated and their ability to project power neutered. 2 key Iranian nuclear sites still remain untouched. Stockpiles of uranium and fissile material remain deep underground in the mountains. And there are rumors that Iran's hiding its most advanced missile in its arsenal, a maneuverable 1,000-pound warhead with an optically guided terminal seeker. The Iranians still haven't used it in the war. Is it defective? Are they conserving it? We don't know. It's a mystery. Not fully disarming Iran would be considered reckless. That's according to the Secretary of State.
They've used the wealth of that country to sponsor terrorism, build rockets, build drones, build missiles.
Didn't Kamala Harris herself say that Iran was the most dangerous foreign country in her opinion. Now, not that her opinion means shit, but the point being is that she's now criticized Trump for this. Yet, when she was vice president, she claimed that Iran was the most dangerous country. Hang on, I got to find this. Let's see here. So, Kamala Harris, Iran. Let's see if I can find that. Yeah, right here. Here it is. First, which foreign country do you consider to be the U.S.'s greatest adversary?
Which foreign country do you consider to be our greatest adversary?
I think there's an obvious one in mind, which is Iran. Iran has American blood on their hands. Okay, this attack on Israel, 200 ballistic missiles. What we need to do to ensure that Iran never achieves the ability to be a nuclear power, that is one of my highest priorities.
So if you have proof that Iran is building a nuclear weapon, would you take military action?
I'm not going to talk about hypotheticals at this moment.
So if that's the case, why did you give them $6 billion fucking in ransom payments? If that's the case, why did your administration give them $6 billion in ransom payments, Kamala Harris, you idiot?
Disarming Iran would be considered reckless. That's according to the Secretary of State.
They've used the wealth of that country to sponsor terrorism, build rockets, build drones, build missiles, build sea mines. That's what they've done with it. When we are done with them here in the next couple of weeks, they will be weaker than they've been in recent history, and they will not be able to hide behind those weapons to break out and get a nuclear weapon, which would be crazy. They hit embassies, they target hotels, they try to kill civilians, they splash out at all their neighbors. Imagine if these radical lunatics had a nuclear weapon to threaten the world with.
Our terms for a deal are clear. No nuke, uranium, or terrorism, and serious limitations put on the missiles. The regime's not going down without a fight. An Iranian missile and drone just got through Saudi air defenses and hit the Prince Sultan Air Base. Several Americans are injured.
So right now, I mean, it's not even about today or tomorrow or even next week. It's about, 3 months from now. How are we looking in 3 months from now? Hypothetically, if this is all done, and again, that's a big hypothetical, I have no idea if it's going to be done or not. I would assume that it will be. And what happens if gas prices are at an all-time low or 20-year low or whatever? How's everybody going to be feeling at that point? Are they still going to be crying about all of this? Are they still going to be whining about all of this? I don't know. Will you? We'll see.
And an air tanker was struck. We're still negotiating, but no one's heard from the gay cardboard Ayatollah. The people we're negotiating with are still waiting for him to counter. Also, everyone's underground with no phones. So how do they communicate? No idea. But that's why peace talks could drag. Behind the scenes, Iranian hardliners have been telling their scientists to fast-track a nuke. This is just according to reports. The guards consolidated power over the clerics. The country's been reduced to a rump state military dictatorship. The guard operating like a cartel, skimming off the top of sanctioned oil trades, financing kickback schemes from proxies like Hamas and Hezbollah, the Houthis. Retired four-star General Jack Keane says this is why a deal's a long shot.
Listen, anybody close to this knows who the Iranians are. None of us think that these negotiations will materialize. We're asking Iran to give up, to surrender everything that we're willing to take away from them, everything. And if they don't do that, no deal.
The United States still says progress is being made. Vance could be taking the lead on negotiations, but a senior administration official tells Axios, quote, if the Iranians can't strike a deal with Vance, they don't get a deal. He's the best they're going to get. They're not negotiating with Kerry and Obama.
Barack Hussein Obama, did you ever hear of him? Barack Hussein Obama, he had the Iran nuclear deal. He went to Iran. He paid him. Remember, he sent two Boeing 757 jetliners. They took the seats out and they piled it with cash, like 1.7 billion of cash. They sent the cash to Iran, but more importantly, they signed an agreement, the Iran nuclear deal. If I didn't terminate it, they would have had a nuclear weapon.
The Iranians say they're ready for a long war, but they have to say that because the mullahs, oops, they're firing missiles at themselves. And their friends are useless.
Let me put it to you this way. There is nothing Russia is doing for Iran that is in any way impeding or affecting our operation or the effectiveness of it.
I have heard that there's people out there that have been trying to report that Russia and China are offering Iran support, specific support, in order to counter the United States. I'm not believing that at all. But that's, of course, what they want the narrative to say. I've heard those reports as well. I don't buy it at all.
Chinese probably aren't happy with Iran either. Tehran just turned 2 Chinese ships away from the strait. And Beijing might not have its way with the strait for long.
They have to open up the Strait of Trump. I mean,
Dude, he just knows how to piss people off, dude. He just knows how to do it.
In any way impeding or affecting our operation or the effectiveness of it.
The Chinese probably aren't happy with Iran either. Tehran just turned 2 Chinese ships away from the strait. And Beijing might not have its way with the strait for long.
they have to open up the Strait of Trump. I mean, Hormuz. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. Such a terrible mistake. The fake news will say he accidentally said no. There's no accidents with me.
It's not a matter of if the strait gets open, it's a matter of when. And the rest of the world needs it more than we do. Rubio's telling our allies, step it up.
They want to set up a tolling system in the Straits of Hormuz. Not only is this illegal, it's unacceptable. It's dangerous for the world.
What's up,
and
Cliff
it's important
Hicks?
that the
Good
world
to
have
see
a
you,
plan
brother.
to confront it. The United States is prepared to be a part of that plan. We don't have to lead that plan, but we're happy to be a part of it. But these countries have a lot at stake. Not just the G7 countries, but countries in Asia and all over the world have a lot at stake and should contribute greatly to that effort to ensure that neither the Straits of Hormuz or, frankly, any international waterways should ever be something that's controlled or tolled by a nation state.
We want the strait open, and the allies are getting in gear. The president's promising a swift end to the war, and he remains confident our objectives are being met.
Tonight, we're closer than ever to the rise of the Middle East that is finally free at last from Iranian terror, aggression, and nuclear blackmail. That's what's happened. It was nuclear blackmail for years and years.
So I want to add to it because he did say a couple of things that I found to be interesting. One thing that he said, too, is this right here. Cuba is next, by the way. Pretend I didn't say that, please.
No, but I was watching this and I'm hearing them saying, could he be losing the MAGA base? I don't think so. You know why? Because MAGA wants to win, number one. Number two, they want our country protected. They don't want another country out there that's hostile and crazy to have a nuclear weapon. And number three, they like us protecting certain allies, whether it's Israel or Saudi Arabia or Qatar or UAE, any of them. They want that. MAGA wants strength and they want victory. They want success. And that's what we have. And we have been very, very successful. You know, when I went into Venezuela, I said, because I campaigned on the fact peace through strength, you wouldn't have to use it. I said, you'll never have to use it. But sometimes.
The hell's going on here?
And Cuba's next, by the way. But pretend I didn't say that, please. Pretend I didn't say that. Please, 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 media, please disregard that statement. Thank you very much. Cuba's next.
Now he also said this, which I thought was kind of interesting. And I do like the self-awareness from Trump right here. So here we go.
What do you want your legacy to be?
Well, I'll tell you what. So I told you that I settled 8 wars. That means millions and millions of people. Some of those wars were going on. One was 34 years. One was 32 years. One was 29 years. One was 22 years. They were long-term wars and a lot of people being killed every year. So I've saved millions and millions of people. And I mean, I know it doesn't sound right for me to say this, but I'd love my legacy to be made as a great peacemaker, because I really believe I'm a peacemaker. It doesn't seem it right now, but I think I'm a peacemaker. Okay?
I do like the answer because, listen, Donald Trump is a person that he thinks a lot of himself. Okay? He thinks a lot of himself. And he's never shied away from that. That was a very self-aware answer to that question. And it does kind of tell me and shows me that Trump has that vision that, again, and a lot of the clowns that are always whining about my stance on this, I've said, I don't like that we're in Iran. I don't like that there's military strikes going on. I don't like any of this. I'm not happy about it. I'm not thrilled about it. But I trust that Trump has a plan. And I'm going to trust the guy that I've been supporting for over a decade that he has a plan. And he has proven that he's not a warmonger. He's proven that he is not someone that's just going to put our troops in harm's way for no reason. He's proven this time and time and time again. So this answer actually gives me even more confidence from that perspective. So I was really happy to hear that answer from him. So good stuff right there. Miniature Vone thinks this JD versus Rubio isn't fair. The VP's job is to A, be the designated survivor, B, be a dignitary in Trump's stead. Every time JD speaks, he hits home runs. Rubio simply has a more complex job than JD. I agree with everything you just said right there. Look, the comparisons to JD Vance and Rubio they're just unrealistic. JD Vance is 100% there, as Ministry of Ron thinks, is to back up the president of the United States of America. What was the biggest problem with Mike Pence? Mike Pence did not back up Trump. Mike Pence was never loyal. That was the biggest issue we had with Mike Pence. JD Vance has been 100% loyal and supportive of President Trump up to this point. So there's no complaints about him. Zero complaints about him. Now, obviously, Marco Rubio, as Secretary of State, has a whole different ball game. Marco Rubio is not there to just back up Trump. Marco Rubio is there to do the job that the president of the United States needs done. He's there to execute. He is there to get things done. JD is there to back up the president. And I think they both have done a phenomenal job. Both of them. Very happy about that. But good point for sure. Phil for 20 says, this is not the time for the faint of heart. MAGA must rise as one and stand behind Trump. Fuck those traitor influencers. 100%. Yeah, look, man, this is where you find out who the real ones are and who they're. And again, this is just, it's not specific to Trump, but Trump takes it to a whole nother level. So it's like anything else. Bring entertainment into it. I mean, whatever it is. Let's go back just a few years ago before Disney bought Star Wars. But like, were there other things that had fan bases? Of course. But there was nothing quite like a Star Wars fan base prior to Disney buying it. It was just on a whole different level than other properties. So the Trump stuff is like, yeah, we've always had leeches and fakes and phonies that are involved in politics and all of that. Donald Trump is just so much bigger, his name, his brand, and everything. So there are people, as I've said many times, there are people that literally have a career by fake hating Trump. It's their career. It's made them millionaires just pretending to hate Donald Trump because there's such a huge market out there to hate Donald Trump. On the flip side, there's been plenty of people that have, fake supported Trump and become millionaires over it because there's such a market for it. There's a huge market for that. And you're starting to see that a lot of those people that were faking their support of Trump are jumping ship right now because they were never really Trump supporters. They just weren't, but they were in it for the wrong reasons. And now that it's getting a little hot in the kitchen, they're jumping ship. So that's where we are with it. Marmillan says the reason we have a Navy, Iran and the Barbary pirates, we've been fighting these assholes for over 250 years. David Phillips says, hey, Jer, remember Biden's deal, the merchant of death for the D-leaguer from the NBA? Oh, sadly, I do remember that. What was her fucking name? It's the dude. Brittany Griner. Brittany Griner. Good Lord. What a disaster. Brittany Griner. Wraith Leader says, I'm just happy my taxes are going to something fun. Miniature Phone Thing says, Iran lowered recruitment ages to 12, a.k.a. child soldiers, a.k.a. war crime. Tell me, Jeremy, why would Iran need to resort to recruit child soldiers if Iran is winning? Probably need to ask Dave Smith. I'm sure he's got the answer since he has all of the answers. He knows every single thing that's going on. He has all of the details. I am Barakatron. It says, I love how leftists are blaming Trump and the GOP for the DHS shutdown when it was exclusively Dems who voted for it to happen. Only Fetterman didn't. The left really is the biggest group of liars ever. Yep. I got to show you guys. So Leia is completely asleep and I don't have her in camera's view. Like, Hassan thinks that his dog is just a prop, but I'm going to take a picture of her and show you guys what she looks like. Hang on. All right. I got to send this picture to myself. Let's see here. All right. And here's what she looks like right here. Open a new tab. That's what she looks like right now. So she is completely out. She's completely out. So there you have it. She's getting sleep. She doesn't care that I'm yelling into the microphone. So she's good to go. So there you have it. Let's see. Peter says, greatest POTUS of all time. Hell yes. Absolutely. Summer for 5 says, Jeremy, remember me? I had to cancel my membership. Didn't want to, but I have to for now. Let's see. I love your honest respect for Trump. I hope to meet you one day. I'm sorry you had to cancel your membership. If we had them individually, I know somebody in the chat would throw you some love, but you can't do the individual ones. But no problem. I appreciate it. So thank you for the support. And we're going to have, we're going to have Vegas later this year. And then, let's see, Vegas later this year. And then next year, we've got MegaCon. We also have the cruise we're trying to plan out. So we shall see. We shall see. John, the Beagle Dad says, do you think Vance will turn on MAGA? I mean, I don't feel that way. I feel that JD Vance has proven his loyalty. So no, I just don't. I don't feel that that's going to happen at all. He seems like he's in it for the right reasons. So Rhino Helix with 10 gifted memberships. Always like to see if all right, Rhino dropped 10. Let's see. Summer did not get one. The Bella Stella dropped 10 gifted memberships. Don't see one yet. So, hey, the people are trying, though. The people are trying. Good stuff. Bill Herb for a 199. Thank you. Tay says, all tax. Lapco says, plane leaves in 10 minutes. Can't wait to see you guys at MegaCon tomorrow. Shout out to Beardo for giving me last minute tickets. A little steep, but I have my monthly cancer meds to make it work. Somebody screenshot this and tag Beardo, please. All right. Somebody screenshot this. Oh, man. Let's go. I see another one. You guys are trying to get Summer that gifted membership. Look at that. They're trying. Got Rhino dropped another 10. You got Tree Bear dropping 5. Look at that, man. The people are trying. Remember that one time that somebody asked for a gifted membership and I gifted, I think it was because I called them out incorrectly and they ended up getting the gifted membership. It was crazy timing. I can't even keep up now. There's too many coming in. Phil just dropped 5. Kingdom Hearts Gamer, what's up for 5? Mods, you're just gonna have to keep up with it. I can't even keep up anymore at this point. So it's crazy. So Jeremy is Iran. Beardo is America. Beardo is about to annihilate Jeremy's oil fields in a massive ballistic missile. Ryan is Israel in the corner, says Bill. Dork Man with 20 gifted memberships. Thank you. Varanid with 5 gifted memberships. Delona with 10 gifted memberships. Okay, at this point, chat, mods, if Summer gets the gifted membership, just wait, because we'll get more. No, I'm kidding. But thank you, everybody. You guys are the best. The best chat on the fucking internet. Not even close. Carla says, I got too many memberships in the beginning. YouTube won't give me any more. You know what? Fuck it. I'll join the fucking party. Why not? Why not? I'll join the party. Let me see here. Give me a second. I'm going to drop some on Rumble and YouTube. How about that? Okay. We're going to drop some on Rumble and YouTube. So, all right. How the fuck do I gift memberships? There we go. Okay. All right. Here we go. Boom. There we have it. There's 5 more. Mayuto, Bill Herb, D-Day Cobra. All right. How do I do this shit on does this work? Why do I have to fill this shit out? Save it. Yeah, okay. Does that work? Unable to process. Why? Probably have to update my payment. Damn it, Rumble. All right, Rumble, I'm going to have to get you next time, I guess. It won't take my payment. I got to update my credit card. Well, fuck me. Hang on. Can I do it on the app? I've kind of committed to it now. I feel like I have to. Holy shit, Harley, Dave, my goodness. You guys are insane. The fuck is happening in this chat right now? All right. I'm trying, chat. I don't have my wallet on me, so I can't update my payment information on Rumble. Apparently, I have an old credit card on Rumble, so I can't do it right now, and I don't have my wallet on me. Fucking hell. Sorry, chat. I'll get you next time. Jeremy hates Rumble because I made him lose his Rumble partnership. This is the guy that's always like hating on me, right? I think that said that. I think you have to do gifties on the website. I tried it on the website and the app, but it's got my wrong. It's got an old card in there. So good Lord, there's way too much shit going on in my chat right now. Bill with 20, Harley Dave with 50, Cristobal with a gifted membership, Narco with 5 gifted memberships, Delona says an IDOT with a salute. Z Hina says, how sad. I'm sorry. Let me see. Jay Wink, do you not like Rumble Wallet? I actually downloaded the Rumble Wallet app the other day because Rumble wanted us to do that. I'm assuming they're going to want us to start doing the Rumble Wallet stuff like Gary does on FNT. I'm still not really sure what's going on with it yet. But, oh, Tiger Woods mugshot has been released, everyone. Hang on. Let me see if I can find this. Jeremy, well played, sir. Well played. Did she get it? Jimmy Ray with 10 gifted memberships. Oh, there it is. Damn. Damn, Tiger. Honestly, man, I can relate, Tiger. I can relate, brother. So if you've ever been in a situation where you're like, you look in the mirror and you're like, man, I'm feeling pretty good, man. I'm thinking I've got the game, man. I'm good, okay? And then you accidentally open your front-facing camera and you're like, damn, I'm ugly. Happens all the time, dude. All right. You're like looking in the mirror. You're like, all right, man, I'm looking good. And then you accidentally open that front face and you're like, oh, that's what I look like for real. Turn that shit off. Every fucking time. Cameras are BS. It is what it is. It's just, it's, you know, like, again, if you believe cameras, apparently, Yellow Flash is 5'7" or some shit like that. You know what I mean? So, again, thank you guys for all these freaking memberships. Absolutely insane. Stormbreaker, for 5 says, Jeremy, humor me. If Michael Bay made a real life G.I. Joe movie with Cobra La, I think it would be a blockbuster, 3 parts. Cobra La 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 La. Listen, I love Michael Bay movies. I really do. I don't want Michael Bay I don't want anybody making a G.I. Joe movie. I don't want anybody touching G.I. Joe. I just would rather nobody have anything to do with G.I. Joe. That's what I'm looking for. Just leave it alone. Hollywood, there's no point in having Hollywood involved in any of that shit because it will just be bad. It will just be very bad. They've proven it time and time again. I just don't want Hollywood involved with anything that I love from my childhood. Just don't. So, now we did get this right here. I don't know. Trump weighs deploying 10,000 extra troops to Middle East, defense official says. So let's hear this.
We can achieve all of our objectives without ground troops, but we are always going to be prepared to give the president maximum optionality and maximum opportunity to adjust to contingencies should they emerge.
Secretary of State Rubio saying that all options, of course, are on the table, as always, and you can see that table's pretty crowded. There are quite a few options there as the Pentagon is continuing to deploy potentially an additional 10,000 combat troops to the Middle East right now, on top of the 50,000, which are mostly stationed in the region at all times. New video from CENTCOM shows the assault on Iran's offensive capabilities continues as President Trump extends his pause on strikes against energy sites. So remember, that's a carve out, no energy sites. But as you can see, that target is clearly on the list and is being struck. Joey Jones is going to join me in just a moment here.
I kind of view President Trump at this point in time that he's basically like, for all of these people, all of these spoiled brats, he's basically their father. And he is making decisions that these spoiled brats don't want, and they hate him for it. But in the long run, they're all going to have better life because of it. And he is making the fatherly decision with all of these spoiled children, meaning the podcast bros. They're crying and whining and they're lashing out and they're calling him names and they're saying, "You're ruining my life, Dad. Let me go and party and get drunk and do drugs. Let me go do things." And he's like, "No, you're sitting at home. Shut the fuck up." And they just cry and they scream and they lash out. And then in 5 or 6 months, everything's going to be perfect. And you know what they're going to do? They're going to be like, well, I guess he was right. But they're still going to be pissed off about it. And it won't be until later on in life that you look back and you go, damn, Dad was right about a lot of shit. And I just got pissed off the whole time. A lot of people can relate to that. I know I can.
From New York, but first, Chief National Security Correspondent Jennifer Griffin in Washington. Hi, Jennifer.
Hi, Martha. Well, it would take at least 2 weeks for the 10,000 troops at the White House and Pentagon
are weighing whether to send to arrive in the Middle East. An effort to force open the Strait of Hormuz, possibly, a mission that is fraught with risk, according to current and former military commanders. In other words, no ground invasion is likely before mid-April. These troops would be in addition to the brigade of 82nd Airborne paratroopers who have been ordered to the region along with the commander of the 82nd Airborne and his higher headquarters. More than 40,000 U.S. service members are already assigned to bases already hit by incoming Iranian missiles and drones across the Middle East. Many have had to be relocated to hotels and apartments in civilian areas as a result. The 31st Marine Expeditionary Unit is still days from the Strait of Hormuz and would still have to cross the contested strait, where they would be a very large, vulnerable target. Unless the Marine Expeditionary Unit crosses the strait, it will not be in a position to help with any sort of ground invasion, I'm told by multiple sources. Opening the strait will require demining teams.
Summer, did you get the membership? It looks like you did. Did Summer get a membership through all of that craziness? Saving for Vegas cruise. Be here always. Thank you. Thank you. And I'm happy to hear that. And yes, it's going to be awesome. It looks like it worked. I see the Cobra logo next to her name. So did she get, there were so many memberships, I lost track of everything, but it looks like she got one, Harley. Let's freaking go. August in Vegas. Oof. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Is the weather hot? It's usually always hot in Las Vegas anyway, from what I remember. It's always hot. Vegas meetup will be August 5th or 6th this year, says Eric K. Yeah, I mean, every time I've been to Vegas, it's been hot as balls. So that's the only part I don't like about Vegas. I love Las Vegas, even as somebody that, doesn't party and doesn't drink and all that shit. But what I do like about Vegas is that you can walk around basically the entire area. Everything is so close together. And so I really always appreciated that. It'll be 100 plus more than likely. God, that's terrible. But oh well, that's part of it.
And the longer this goes on could affect food supplies and crops around the world because 1/3 of the world's fertilizer normally crosses the strait each day. CENTCOM Commander Admiral Brad Cooper said U.S. forces have destroyed 92% of Iran's largest naval vessels. But experts tell us
Surly SOB, I'm sorry.
Pose the greatest threat
Surly
to ships
SOB.
that are passing through the Strait of Hormuz, Martha.
Yeah, interesting. We heard some of that yesterday, that there are a lot of small boats that can.
But Jeremy, it must be true because Iran said it. Yeah, I mean, listen, I trust everything Iran says. I trust everything that they say. I would never question any of that at all. In fact, let me see if I can find it. Do I have it? Dang it. I must have deleted it. It was a clip I was going to play and I can't find it. So I'll just play this.
Her cat was named Vagina.
Okay. I don't know. I couldn't find it. So we'll continue this little bit here.
Very useful for the Iranians in those kinds of attacks in the strait. Jennifer, thank you very much.
And people are asking if this was Ellen. This is not Ellen, but this is a Trump hater. She is a Trump hater. So, you guys forgot about that one, didn't you? Hey, look, Marco's got a new job, everybody. As a favor to President Trump, Marco Rubio agrees to be Tiger's caddy to help keep Tiger out of trouble. Congratulations, Marco. All right. Marco, we got another job. I'm proud of you, Marco. You're going to make a great caddy for Tiger. That's pretty fantastic. So, oh, man. Yeah, the Tiger memes, I'm already seeing a lot of them. There's been a ton of Tiger memes. What is this right here? Bill Maher says he respects President Trump for trying to block him from getting the Mark Twain Prize.
And I'm not mad that he did this. You know what? Me and the president, we have a complicated relationship.
goes back to the orangutan lawsuit. You know, this has been going on a long time. So him trying to block me from getting it, I respect the move. I respect them. Keep the game going, baby, okay? I'm all about engagement. Disengagement gets you nothing. You got to engage. So even though I see that we're back to him calling me a jerk and I'm a lightweight ratings loser, get it off your chest, big man. Okay, I'm totally fine with it. I was proud of these last insults you gave me. I added them to the list of insults that I brought to the White House that you signed graciously when I was there. Yeah.
I just still find it to be incredibly disrespectful that Donald Trump took the time to meet with this clown and have a good conversation with him, treat him respectfully, and they just take it as an opportunity to just continue to pounce on the guy. You know, like it's crazy, man.
So I would just like to say, as a low ratings lightweight and a rather dumb guy and a pathetic bloated sleazebag, a dummy, a terrible student, a nervous failing comedian, and someone who was sick, insane, very sad, totally shot, and a crazy maniac, I am honored to accept the Mark Twain. Thank you very much. And I will be there, Don, and I hope you will be too. I mean, the place is named after you now. You really should show up. You could show up. You could thank me in person for being one of the few people on the lunatic left who's glad you hit Iran and is hoping we win that one, okay?
Yeah, it's just this. I think Bill Maher loves Trump more than most Trump supporters at this point. But he has to he kind of has to shield his love for Trump as hate. It's kind of like with Jimmy Kimmel. You know, these guys are just so obsessed with Trump, but they don't want to admit that they love Trump. So they just pretend that it's hate. That's essentially what it is. John freaking Murdoch for 50 says the I am lurking and watching you tax. Thank you, John freaking Murdoch. Hail to you. And he also drops 10 gifted memberships. John freaking Murdoch. Here we go. Thank you, brother. And thank you for the 5 as well. Surly SOB. I said Surly BS because I'm retarded. So thank you, John. Andrew says, hail to 199, not a warmonger, but from experience, those Marines are ready to be let off the leash. You spend years training for a job and then you finally get to do it. I am confident they are screaming to get off the boats. I hear you, man. Again, I'm not a fan of war at all. I'm actually, I don't know if I'm anti-war. I guess by the definition, I'm anti-war, but I also think that sometimes things are necessary. You know what I mean? So, but it is what it is, man. Some people don't, we're talking about a TikTok world where people, TikTok and YouTube shorts, that's where people get their education from for the most part these days. So you can't really expect a lot, from that perspective. Let me see. Apollo with $2. Thank you. Apollo with $2 more. Thank you. Ministry of Bomb Think with a 199 super sticker. Thank you, Jessica Lindstrom. And I got to find your comment now. I don't know where it went. It just disappeared on me. Your member message. Let's see. Oh, Jessica says, thanks for having my husband on Tuesday night's main event. Made me actually want to watch the full show. Also, you're gay. Thank you, Jessica. It was awesome having ABF on. Sure, we'll have him on again too. Apollo for 2 says, what's your take on Obama? I mean, that's a pretty, there's a lot of ways we could go about that. But if you want my most simplistic take is Barack Hussein Obama is one of the most damaging presidents we've ever had from a cultural standpoint. I think that's the biggest problem with Obama's legacy is that he damaged the culture in a way that I don't know if anyone else could have quite damaged it that much. He single-handedly, his presence single-handedly, I should say, allowed the media, allowed Hollywood, allowed the government to create a racial divide that we haven't seen in a long time. Because if you go back to the 80s and the 90s, I'm not going to tell you there wasn't a racial divide, because we've always had these problems here or there. But it significantly had improved a lot. And with Barack Hussein Obama, it was basically a Trojan horse for racism is what it was, because the way that it was delivered. Well, first of all, Barack Hussein Obama was a phenomenal speaker when he had a teleprompter. He was amazing. He was absolutely magic with a teleprompter. And then the moment he doesn't have a teleprompter, he's a fucking disaster. It's so bad. But he was a person that was protected by the media and protected by his handlers, and he was presented in a certain fashion. And, you know, he could articulate himself very well with that teleprompter. He was so good. Obama can read good. Yeah. It's more than that, though. I mean, yes, obviously he can read good, but like, it's the presence. I mean, Barack Obama was essentially an actor from that perspective. Like, he got up there and he knew how to connect with people. He knew how to speak. He knew when to pause. Like, he had it down pat when he had his notes in front of him. He was phenomenal at it. Anyway, with that said, it really was not like, it's kind of like looking back on Disney Star Wars. Like, Barack Obama's first term was The Force Awakens. Not a lot of people, including me, saw the problems. But as soon as the second term got there, and the second term essentially was The Last Jedi, and as soon as the second term got there and he got reelected, you started to see, oh, fuck, this motherfucker is here to divide everybody. And that's exactly what he did. So he's the divider in chief. That's his legacy right there. And thank goodness for President Trump. Thank goodness. Summer says, oh, I got that one. Thank you, Summer. Narco says that your support of Trump is spot on with regards to actions in Iran. I look forward 20 years from now when we see documentaries on how America rid the world of this evil regime. Like I said, we're in a TikTok world, and you know, these people want instant results and instant return. It's just not reality right now. Heir to the Empire says, hey, Jeremy, I'm a proud MAGA dork. I just bought 4 new G.I. Joe Classified Series figures. Yo, Joe. Hell yeah. That's a good point. And the rise of Skywalker was Biden, D-Day Cobra, I think. Yes, very true. Cowboy says, white man sent into space to save humanity. Interstellar and Project Hail Mary, same movie. Well, I've seen Project Hail Mary. I don't know if you've seen both of them, but there's really nothing about the two movies that are similar at all. They're drastically different. They're both very good for different reasons, but yeah, I'd heard all of the comparisons of Project Hail Mary and Interstellar, but there are no comparisons, generally speaking. Like, yeah, on the surface, but outside of that, like in terms of the complexities of each movie, they're drastically different. Also tonally different as well. Tonally, Interstellar is a much more serious movie, whereas Project Hail Mary is a little more lighthearted, a little more easy to digest and things like that. But they're drastically different movies. But I like look, Project Hail Mary is doing great, and I'm happy that it's doing great. I think that everybody should go and check it out. Let's see here. Hang on just a minute. What is this right here? Dun, dun. Trying to see what this email is. Okay. I got an email about Geeks and Gamers, and I wasn't sure if it was a positive email or a negative email, and it was a government email, something we applied for, but it's positive. I was like, holy shit. I'm about to worry. I'm like, oh fuck, here we go. more money that I got to pay. But everything is good. Let's see. Cristobal says, quote, if I had a son, I don't know if that's in reference to, but I appreciate the super chat. Johnny Winskin says, which presidency represents the prequels? That's a good question. That's a really good question, actually. I'd have to think about that one. Because, I mean, obviously, everything with George W. Bush and even Bill Clinton, going back to Reagan, George H.W. Bush, probably H.W. would probably be the one. H.W., I think. I'd have to think about that one. So I guess it would be H.W. or W. I had to think about it. That's what it is. Obama and Trayvon. That's it. Okay, yeah. Fuck Barack Hussein Obama. All these gifted memberships again. Rhino Helix, Bella Stella, Rhino, Tree Bear, Phil, Kingdom Hearts Gamer, Arclight, Dorkman, Veronid, Delona, Andrew, Maito, Bill, Harley Dave, Cristobal, Narco, Jimmy Ray. That's a lot of gifted memberships. Delona with the salute. Thank you. I appreciate that. You guys are insane, man. And somewhere along the way, some got one from what it looked like anyway. Elite Super Grunt says from, let's see, the shores of Tripoli, Semper Fi. Thank you. Eric K says, teacher Enoch Burke is spending tonight in a tiny prison cell in Ireland after refusing to use they, them pronouns for a child. This is now over 600 days behind bars. Now judges want to ban his family. That whole story is just, it's sad, man. It's just a sad situation. I haven't followed it that much, but I've seen a little bit of what you've told me about it. Absolutely awful. All over they, them pronouns. Are you kidding me? Cowboy with 5 get the memberships. Thank you, Cowboy. Yeah, there's Tiger's mugshot. Everybody's sharing it now all of a sudden. So, all right, let me go to my bookmarks because I got some more stuff for us to talk about. Let's see. See somebody. What is this right here? What is this? Rand Paul considering running for president again in 2028. So let's all take a moment to remember when Trump ended his first run with one line. This is one of my favorite lines ever from Trump right here.
I think really there's a sophomoric quality that is entertaining about Mr. Trump, but I am worried. I'm very concerned about having him in charge of the nuclear weapons because I think his response, his visceral response to attack people on their appearance, short, tall, fat, ugly. My goodness, that happened in junior high. Are we not way above that? Would we not all be worried to have someone like that in charge of the nuclear arsenal?
Mr. Trump. I never attacked him on his look, and believe me, there's plenty of subject matter right there. That I can tell you.
But Jake, I want to give Mr. Trump.
Oh, man. Trump is an unstoppable force, okay? He is an unstoppable force that it's just amazing. It's amazing to watch him operate. And like the bull in a china shop, that's a meme. It's a kind of a saying. A lot of people use that. Trump is literally that. He's an unstoppable force. Like wherever he's at, he is the focus. You can't one up him at all. It's just not even close. So it's pretty great. What is this? All right, hang on. He already had no filter before, but whatever is left is completely gone. He gives it no fucks at all. Hang on. What is this?
Missing right now. What is missing in leadership?
Well, it's winning. You got to win. You know, I've watched a lot of people, leaders, great leaders. And, you know, the one thing about sports is you break it down into a 2-hour period, something nice. You don't have to wait a lifetime to find out if somebody a winner or a loser. You got a lot of losers, mostly losers, fortunately. It's a good thing to have a lot of losers. I always like to hang around with losers, actually, because it makes me feel better. I hate guys that are very, very successful and you have to listen to their success stories. I like people that like to listen to my success.
He doesn't give a shit. He just doesn't give a shit. Oh my goodness. This dude. I got to get to the Q&A part of this. I got to hear this, man. Like, this is fantastic. Where's my dog at? All right. Is this it? Trump just doesn't give a damn. He really doesn't. Okay. Is this it?
Nobody ever does. I stopped 8 wars, Yasser. Do you know what that is? 8 wars. You didn't stop 8 wars. You started 8 wars, Yasser. I stopped 8 wars. But it was a little early because, in all fairness, it was for the year before, right? It was for 24. But still, you thought they would have made an exception. But they didn't do that. You watch what happens. But it was sort of amazing. So she was so nice, and she actually came to the White House, and she presented me with her award. She's a wonderful woman. But stopping wars is, I think, is it's the best. I think I do it the best. I stopped wars that nobody thought. President Putin called me. He said, I can't believe you stopped this one and this one, which are impossible. Azerbaijan, it was an impossible war to stop. We stopped
I love when he says that. Azerbaijan.
it. But we also have a man who's probably good at stopping wars. I know he's good at being a tough guy. He is a tough guy. He's been very tough on crime, and he's done a great job. Miami Mayor Francis Suarez is here someplace. Francis, hi. How are you? And we have our great son. He's got the best genes, I think, of any human being I've ever known. He's my son, Don Trump. Don, he's a great guy. And his fiance, Bettina. Good, Bettina, good. No, my son's got the greatest genes in history. I'm a big believer.
Stormbreakers is what happened to making Orlando, Florida G&G headquarters. Well, it kind of is, but I don't have G&G HQ like the content house anymore. It just was too expensive to manage that. I mean, I had it for a year, and it was just way too expensive to run that, and the ROI wasn't there. So that's why. So, but we're still here. You know, we're doing our thing here, but we just don't have the content house.
Guy and his fiance, Bettina. Good, Bettina, good. No, my son's got the greatest genes in history. I'm a big believer in genes, by the way, I will tell you. My daughter, Tiffany, and her husband, Michael.
Chris is still part of G&G. Of course. Yeah, Chris is here. She was at MegaCon with us. So, yeah, she's still here.
My beautiful daughter. Great. And they have a new child, the most beautiful guy we've seen, right? Blows us all away, right? He's great. Thank you for being here. And countless other business leaders. We have so many friends of mine here, so many business leaders, but we can't go on because we have a couple of moments more to discuss the world and the economy. Over the past 14 months, the Trump administration has achieved perhaps the most.
You just haven't seen her in a while. She was on Main Event last week, and she ran the live streams at the MegaCon meetup. And so, yeah.
Dramatic one-year turnaround of any nation in all of history. A short time ago, a man that we just discussed, the king, the future king of Saudi Arabia, and I also love the king of Saudi Arabia.
Oh,
what
yeah,
a man he is.
when I was there,
Night. We bonded. He would grab me to get up. He was a little frail at the time, and this was a long time ago, and he's still doing well. And he'd grab my arm to get up when I was sitting next to him. And they said that's the only time he's ever grabbed anybody he would grab me all the time. And I said, I think he likes me. And he did like me.
Oh, you mean around here? Well, I mean, Krista's not really the political type. I mean, she has her own opinions and stuff, but Krista's more focused on video games and theme parks. That's what she's focused on.
And he still likes me. And he's a great man, and say hello to him. He's a great guy with a great son. But a short time ago, we were together, and he looked at me and he said, you know, it's amazing. 1 year ago, you were a dead country. Now you're the hottest country anywhere in the world. He didn't think this was going to happen.
That's Trump's line.
He didn't think he'd be kissing my ass. He really didn't. He thought he'd be just another American president that was a loser, where the country was going downhill. But now he has to be nice to me. You tell him he better be nice to me. He's got to be. But it was really something. He said, though, he said, you know, it's amazing, President, because he's a very smart, but a regular kind of a guy. He said, you know, it's amazing, President. A year ago, in that case, it was a year and a half. It was 6 months ago. But a year ago, you were a dead country. Now you're literally the hottest country anywhere in the world. And that was before we beat the hell out of Iran. You know, now I think he's got to say even better. I think we have to up it. But he's fantastic. And everything we do, we're working to make America the #1 place on earth to do business. We passed the largest tax cuts in American history, including no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security for our great seniors. We provided 100% expensing and bonus depreciation so that anyone who wants to build a factory can deduct the entire cost of equipment and the entire factory in the first year. That used to take 38 years to do. You'd take it little drips. Now it's done. And, you know, a lot of people remember that my first 4 years was the most successful time we've ever had financially in the history of our country. We had an unbelievable success, but this is much better. And by the way, when this war ends, it's going to be like a rocket ship. I thought we were going to go down more, and I thought oil prices were going to go up higher than they are.
See, this is interesting. And again, his language is what's got to be the most interesting thing, because you have to understand how Trump operates. Trump is a salesman, okay? Trump never shows weakness. He never admits defeat. He never admits when he's wrong. He just does not do that, okay? That is part of his brand. But if you listen to the guy enough, like, you can hear the self-awareness. Like, he's also not an idiot. So he also understands optics, and he understands. So he's telling you right now that when this is over, things are going to skyrocket. So he's admitting that things are down right now. He's admitting that he recognizes that they're down right now. The dude doesn't say anything that can be used against him down the road. He knows everything he says. He chooses his words very carefully, but at the same time, he kind of just, you know, you never know what he's going to say at the same time. But that type of language right there is very interesting.
But this is much better. And by the way, when this war ends, it's going to be like a rocket ship. I thought we were going to go down more, and I thought oil prices were going to go up higher than they are now. It's not finished yet. I'm not saying it's sort of finished, but it's not finished. It's got to be finished. And I thought that we would see a bigger drop in stock. It hasn't been that bad. You know, it's sort of crazy. I hit 50,000 on the Dow. People said that wouldn't be possible within 4 years. I did it in 1 year. And then we hit 7,000 on the S&P. People said that's even harder than hitting 50,000 on the Dow. And I did that in less than 1 year. Toward the end of the year, both of them, we broke every record, every stock record we broke. And you're big beneficiaries because so many of you invest in the United States, and keep doing it because it's going to be a rocket ship. You watch. But then I said, all right, do I have to do this? We have a country that's sick and demented.
Like, that's the thing is, I think Trump is, this is Trump's way. And I am not a expert on stocks. I have one stock that I am invested in, and that's Tesla. That's it. And Tesla's down right now, but Trump is basically saying buy the dip. That's what he's saying. Buy the dip.
and they have a nuclear weapon or they want to have one. They were very close to getting. Remember, they were 2 weeks away. They were 2 weeks away. If we didn't hit that, I call it the nuclear dust. I use the term nuclear dust. If we didn't knock the hell out of them, they would have had a nuclear weapon within 2 to 4 weeks, and they would have used it on you and on Israel and on everyone else. And I said, we really do have to stop and go on a little different journey for a little while and take them out and then go back to life. And that's what we did. And we did it violently. We did it powerfully. We did it with the respect of the world. And we helped a lot of allies. And we learned about other allies. We learned that other allies weren't there. We didn't need them, but they weren't there if we did need them. And that's going to be very costly for them. The stock market has set 53 all-time record highs since the election, adding $9 trillion in value to America's savings and retirement accounts and 401ks. Everybody's benefiting by this. And more Americans are working today than at any time in the history of our country. At any time. To me, that's the number one stat. More Americans are working today by far than at any time in the history of our country. And in 14 months, we've lifted 3.3 million Americans off of food stamps. That's a record. And Biden and his allies wrecked our country. They wreaked havoc on our economy, and they gave us the worst inflation in American history. Under Trump, during the last 3 months of 2025,
just want to remind you that our current president versus the guy that was claiming to be president, this is him.
And Joan Shingang, I'm going to pronounce it, Shanga Kawawa. And Joan.
To be fair, that's also Gary, doing an ad read. To be fair, I'm just saying it's kind of like Gary doing an ad read.
And Joan Shingang, I'm going to pronounce it, Shanga Kawawa.
We got core inflation down to 1.6%. And right now, the average tax refund for filers, because of the great big beautiful bill, has been close to $5,000. It's a lot of money for a family. And this, when I'm talking to Saudi Arabia and I'm talking about $5,000, they look at me, 5,000? That's like a penny. Right, David? That's like a penny. Saudi Arabia is not into $5,000, but it's Saudi Arabia. I just want to ask, are the Saudis impressed by the fact that a family has saved $5,000? I know they're looking like, what the hell is $5,000? Their shoes cost them more than $5,000. But that's the way it goes. We're talking about the real world. In his entire term, Joe Biden, I have two terms for him, Crooked Joe and Sleepy Joe. It's always been pretty, I do sometimes a poll, which is a more accurate term, sleepy or crooked, pretty much even. I like sleepy.
Here we go.
In his entire term, Sleepy Joe Biden got less than $1 trillion of new investment in the United States, a lot less. And in our first 11 months, 12th month is coming, it's going to be big. We did $18 trillion. Think of it, less than $1 trillion for 4 years. In 11 months, we did $18 trillion. And we have factories being built all over the country at a level that's never been seen before. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that I allow these plants and everything to build their own electricity. Well, we need big electricity. They're all building their own electricity. But a lot of it has to do with the tax bill. A lot of them, because it's really the biggest tax reduction bill in history, the great big beautiful bill. And a lot of it has to do with the 1 year deductibility where you build a plant and you take the whole thing as a deduction. I did that in my first term also, but I had it for 1 year. Now I have it for 10 years. So it's pretty amazing, and it's pretty amazing what we're seeing, but it also...
Trump's ability to just talk and talk and talk and talk and go off script and then talk more and then weave back into the script and then talk on script for a minute and then weave back off and go on something completely unrelated. It's incredible. It really is incredible.
Started with our historic visit to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. My first visit was to the future king. And on that first foreign trip of my presidency last May, the Crown Prince announced that Saudi Arabia would be investing an incredible almost $1 trillion in the United States, which he later increased.
That's a good point, Tom. Dude has said more words than any president in history. He absolutely has.
As just a few examples of these new partnerships, Oracle will be building a $14 billion worth of cloud computing and AI infrastructure in the kingdom. I didn't know that, David. We have to talk to your father about that. Why isn't he doing it here, David? I'm very upset with you. And by the way, David has done a very good job. David Ellis said he just had a very big win. And your father's very proud of you because your father said, that's a tough one. And you got it done. It's going to be a great success. You're going to be a great success. You're going to blow away your father. And he'll be very happy about that because he loves you. But it's a great family. Great family. Say hello to him, okay?
Well, there you have it right there. So, David Ellison, we'll see.
You're going to have a big, big success with the deal he made. Boeing is selling dozens of 737 airplanes in a deal valued at $4.8 billion and supporting approximately 20,000 U.S. jobs. And during our trip, the United States and Saudi Arabia, and I must say also Qatar, we visited, they were fantastic. And UAE, we visited, they were fantastic, all three of them. We took in a total of almost $3 trillion from just those three countries. But Saudi Arabia signed the largest defense sales agreement in American history, nearly $142 billion of the finest military equipment anywhere in the world. We make the best military equipment in the world by far. Nobody's ever figured out the Patriot. I mean, when you can shoot down 101 out of 101, that's good stuff, right? And those suckers are traveling at 2,000, Mr. Minister, 2,500 miles an hour. You better hope you don't have chokers sitting behind that desk. Because if they're about 1 second late, that's the end of it. You know, you say, well, we missed them. They're coming. When I hosted the Crown Prince at the White House last fall, we officially designated the kingdom as a major non-NATO ally. First time. And for the very first time, we agreed to sell Saudi Arabia perhaps the most capable fighter jet ever built, the F-35. The F-35 is amazing. And we sell them very sparingly. We don't want other people to have them. I'm confident that this partnership and so many others around the world will continue to grow and thrive because under President Trump, America once again fights and competes for one thing. We fight to win. We fight for justice and we fight to win. We don't fight to be politically correct like we did under other presidents where we fought to just keep fighting, fighting, fighting. And, you know, when I took out ISIS, I was told by generals it would take 4 to 5 years. And I met General Raisin Kane, who's our top person, head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff.
Raisin Kane has to be one of Trump's favorite human beings. I mean, he loves talking about General Raisin Kane. And I think that a lot of it is because of the name Raisin Kane. I think because he loves to reference General Raisin Kane. Names matter. It just does. Like, it matters in so many different ways. I've talked about this many times. So when I was a kid and, you know, my parents would talk about, we're going to take you to Walt Disney World. My mind would just explode with opportunities and you know, imagination. It just felt like a magical world, okay? But that's Walt Disney's name. He was born with the name Walt Disney, okay? If Walt Disney would have been born, I don't know, Tom Smith, could you imagine my parents going, hey, you want to go to Tom Smith World? And I'm like, fucking car lot? Who cares? I don't care about Tom Smith World. Walt Disney World. Ooh, that sounds cool from a kid's perspective. Hey, you want to go to Tom Smith World? I'm like, for a used car? Like, who cares? Hey, branding matters. That's all I'm saying.
I said, if I ever do this thing again, if I ever get in, I'm putting that guy as the head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. I went to see him in Iraq, and I said, why is it taking so long to destroy ISIS? We have the best weapons
Let's go to Roy Disney World.
in the world. And I understood why, but I had generals, I call them the television generals. They weren't any good. Mattis, Milley, they weren't any good. They were lousy.
X-Wing 5
They
land.
said, sir, it will take about 4 years. When I went over and I met General Kane, I said, how long will it take? 4 weeks, sir. You'll have a lot of time left over. I said, wait a minute. Did you say 4 weeks? 4 weeks, sir. It'll take 4 weeks. You'll have a lot of time left over. That's our new head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. And he said, how do you do that? Well, sir, we were only able to fight from this one very far away location because nobody wanted to use all of our portable runways that we have all over the Middle East. We have portable runways. Can you believe it? We have everything. But nobody wanted to use them because they didn't want to insult the country where the runway was located. I said, they wouldn't even know.
Cole Hauser says, if you could, let me just say, if you could have any G.I. Joe name, not Snake Eyes. Not Snake Eyes. Beachhead has always been one of my favorite names in G.I. Joe. I love the name Beachhead. Obviously Cobra Commander is right up there. Yeah, I always like Beachhead. Beachhead's awesome. Yeah, I mean, of course, Storm Shadow. Storm Shadow is a great fucking name. Destro is a cool fucking name. Destro is a strong name, a badass strong name right there. So yeah, absolutely. But I'm gonna probably go. I like Beachhead. Beachhead's a great name.
Do you think some country's going to know when we have jets taking off? They don't know. He said, well, I agree with you, sir, but whether they know or not, who cares? He said, so we have about 17 locations that we could take off. From this one, it took 8 hours to get to the destination. By the time we got there, we had to refuel all the time and we had to come back. And he said, but we have 17 different locations, sir. And sir, we're going to hit him from the left. We're going to hit him from the right. We're going to hit him from the east and the west. And we're going to hit him from above. And you could see he was getting crazy. And I said, what's your first name? He said, Raisin, sir.
Here we go.
What do you mean, Raisin?
Here it goes.
My name is Raisin. I said, you mean your name is Raisin Kane? And he said, yes, sir. You're the guy I'm looking for. I've been looking for you for 4 frickin' years. I found Raisin Kane. His first name is Dan, but his nickname is Raisin. And I love that. I loved Raisin Kane. And I said, if I ever get in, and this was before I decided to even run, I said, if I ever run and if I win, that guy's going to be the head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. That's exactly what happened. And he was all for me and I'm all for him, but he's a great general. He's like one of these football coaches that's great. You know, there's some great ones, Johnny, right? And all they do is they sit, their wives are complaining, everyone's complaining. They never go, they don't see anybody. They just go into the room and they study film and tape. Then they go out and win and everyone says, and other guys are out there playing golf. They're not winning. And he's been great. And Pete Hegseth has been amazing. He's been amazing. Pete has done a great job. He was born for it. I really believe he was born for it. We have a lot of great people. We have a lot. We had a great first 4 years, but the people we have now, like when I won, I'd never done it before. I ran. Everyone thought I was doing it for fun. Even Steve Witkoff, he said, you're doing it for fun, right? No, I guess. I don't know. I didn't know what I was doing it for. Maybe. But they all said, no, he's going to run. And in September, he's going to have a lot of fun. He'll drop out. And then the debates came, and I did good in the debates. And we're knocking people off, all senators, governors, mostly senators and governors, all professional politicians, smart guys. You can't be stupid and be a senator or a governor. It doesn't work that way. Other than Biden, he got lucky. He was in a room. They locked him in a room, and he never got to talk. So that's the whole other story. But I ran, and then all of a sudden, there were 18 people, including me. Then there were 15. Then there were 12. Then there were 9. Then there were 6. 5. It's like a rocket ship. 4. And then all of a sudden, I won. But I never did it before. I went to Washington. I said, I've only been here 17 times and I've never slept over. I didn't know anybody. So I had to take recommendations from rhinos and some good people. I mean, there were recommendations and some were really good. I mean, I had some great people. Look, I rebuilt our entire military in the first term. We got the largest tax cuts in history, the largest regulation cuts in history in the first time. We did good, but I didn't have the same people generally.
I think he would be a YouTuber if he wasn't president. If he wasn't a president and a billionaire, he'd just be a YouTuber. He would just go live and he would just talk. And he would just ramble and he would tell you about all of his accomplishments and he just, that's it.
But I went home and I watched this thing closely. And by that time, I knew the good, the bad, and the ugly. I knew the good ones. I knew the bad ones. And when I came back, I picked great people. We have an unbelievable, we're talking military now, but we have an unbelievable group because I got to know it. I was never in Washington. It's hard. I never ran for class president. All of a sudden, ladies and gentlemen, your next president of the United States is Donald Trump. I said, really? I never did this before. Johnny, I said, how the hell did this happen, right? But it did happen, and we had a great first term. But the second term is blowing it away, to be honest with you. It's really blowing it away. And when we decide to leave, regime change, I guess we change the regime. The regime gets blown up every 2 days. No, everybody's afraid to announce who's the head. We don't even know who the hell the leader is. So I think we have regime change already. But we're going to be, at some point, we'll be leaving. And I think you're going to see a rocket ship because we won't have that dark cloud hanging over our head, Steve, right? That we did before, which was a nuclear-armed, sick country of Iran, because it might have affected your country, Saudi Arabia and the others, and it certainly affected Israel more than anybody, the hatred they have for Israel, but it also affected us because with modern day equipment, they can fly. And how about the fact that they flew a missile 2,700 miles the other day? They didn't say.
Now he's this dude can just talk. It's absolutely incredible. Cowboy with those 5 get the memberships. Tay with the get the membership. Thank you. Mudkip says Super Battle Golf for your game streams. Trust me. Super Battle Golf. One of my mods DM me that so I can just DM me the screenshot of that. I'll look into it. Stormbreaker says I got that. Sherry Allen says my grandmother always said the best about getting old is getting to say whatever you want. That's very true. Stormbreaker says, Jeremy, how would you rank Trump now? He's number 1. 100% he's number 1. Nubbin says lurking clown tax. Let's go. Just hanging out in Cobraville, lurking clown, wasting super chats in Cobraville. That's what everybody does. Jeremy, when are you seeing Mario Galaxy? Very soon. What is it, Wednesday? I've already got tickets for it. So, yeah, I'll be seeing Super Mario Galaxy ASAP. And I will have a review on the Geeks and Gamers main channel. I've already got it set up. So, review will be on the main channel for Geeks and Gamers. And I fucking can't wait. I am so excited. So excited. Thank you for the 25, Nubbin. Little Jim Salo says, gay bathhouses. Do I still have that clip? Let's see. I think I still have that clip. I gotta look and see. I haven't used that one in a while. I might have gotten rid of that one because I was running out of room. That would be one I would want to keep, though. I'd be surprised if I got rid of that one. It looks like I did. Oh, no, here it is.
It was all about, gay bathhouses and everything. It's all about round-the-clock sex. It's all, come on, man.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Twisted Clown says, talk tax, external Trump. Whiskey Tango Foxtrot with 5 gifted memberships. Thank you. Lying Dogface Pony Soldier with a gifted membership. Thank you. Bill Herb says, did you see the White House post Donald Trump Animal Farm? Animal Crossing. Yeah, you said Animal Crossing, not farm. Sorry. I'm an IDOT. I'll watch CobraCast regularly. I did see that. Darth Manic says, on my way into work to watch the last CobraCast, gonna watch this one throughout the night. Gonna be a nice night at work. LFG. Hell yeah, brother. Thank you so much. Thank you. Cole Hauser says Beachhead is father to Cop's character. Checkpoint. Beachhead's from Fort Benning, Georgia. Spirian with a 199 super sticker. Thank you.
Nobody knew they had that. Went 2,700 miles. So we learned a lot, but we're determined to have the best technology, the brightest minds, the greatest businesses, and the strongest economic and security partnerships of any nation, anywhere in the world. And for this reason, we're also committed to ensuring the United States remains number one in artificial intelligence. We're doing great. We're leading China by a lot. And I'll not allow radical left maniacs to sacrifice American AI leadership to red tape or political correctness. It's going good. We're doing really well. We're building factories all over America, the biggest in the world. And in America, we don't fear the future. We invent the future. We're really inventing the future. We have the most brilliant minds. And we invite all nations to join us in building the most powerful AI ecosystem on the planet. We're building more automobile plants than any time in the last 50 years for a lot of reasons. I think number one, maybe the election, but number two, and a close number two, is tariffs. The tariffs are driving people in from Canada, Mexico, Germany, Japan, South Korea. They're coming in. We're building auto plants all over the United States, tens of billions. I met Mr. Toyota in Japan. I said, what's your name? He's about 92 years old. Sharp as a tack. What's your name? Toyota. I said, you're rich. I said, do you have anything to do with automobiles? Yes. What do you have to do with Toyota? I own it. And I said, well, do you want to make an investment? Yes, we're going to spend $10 billion, spending $10 billion right now on building 5 plants. Everybody is. They're all coming into America. We're going to be hotter
Why
than...
can't I negotiate like this? Okay. Like, why can't I get somebody to just invest $10 million into Geeks and Gamers? You know, I could. Is anybody in the chat want to invest $10 million into Geeks and Gamers? I'll make bragging rights brought to you by every week. We'll do bragging rights brought to you by whatever you want to promote. Okay, let's do that.
We were 70 years ago when we dominated the automobile. We made all of the cars.
What do I produce? Memes.
My administration has also worked tirelessly to ensure that America remains at the bleeding edge of crypto revolution. We're really doing great. And if we're not going to do it, then China is going to take it over. They want to do it. We're going to be the undisputed crypto capital and Bitcoin superpower of the world. Bitcoin's very powerful. It's all becoming powerful. So many people now, they want to pay you in crypto. They want to pay you in Bitcoin. And we have to be at the top of it in all of these, call it an industry. Last year, I signed the landmark Genius Act into law, creating a clear and simple framework for dollar-backed stablecoins. And this was a historic achievement, and I'll not allow Democrats and their big bank donors, although they've had a lot of support for crypto. They will say that. The Democrats have been very strong on crypto. They want to see it too, which is shocking if you want to know the truth. But we don't want any pointless regulations or needless restrictions. We want to have free enterprise, open. America became the world financial capital because we were the strongest and the freest nation on earth, and the Trump administration's going to keep it that way. We're very open. And I tell people, if you have problems, call me. And some of them are amazed. I actually take their call and get their problem solved. For 4 long years, our country was pushed to the brink of destruction by...
I did have to double check too. Let's see. Elite Super Grunt says, I got the Rumble wallet. Well, go support Geeks and Gamers over there. We already got it set up. But I did check, okay? And I went to incognito mode this is the first time. I never go to incognito mode ever to check out websites. Never. This is the first time I've ever done it. But in all seriousness, I go to incognito mode and I typed it again, One Piece review. I would like everyone else to check on Google if you can. One Piece, do it on incognito mode. First result is Geeks and Gamers still. Are you kidding me? One Piece review and Geeks and Gamers is the very first result. That is fucking crazy. Ahead of Reddit, ahead of Rotten Tomatoes, ahead of IGN, ahead of IMDb. That is crazy that we are ranking still number one. That is a huge search term that we rank number one. That is crazy awesome.
By radicals and thugs and stupid people who punished success, pillaged our economy, dismantled our borders, and surrendered our strength. But today, all of that is behind us. Our country is prospering again, I think, like never before. I would say, it's amazing. I knew I'd do it. I didn't know I was going to do it. I had no idea it was going to be this fast, but you never know.
Number 4 for me, but hey, first page. Hey, but being on the front page of a Google search for something that's high volume is insane. And again, that's what our focus is we're putting a lot of money into the website and, we're trying to build that up. I think that the website can be a huge, huge benefit for us down the road, but fuck if it's not expensive running a website of the level that we're running it.
I had no idea I'd be going into Iran. I didn't think we'd have to do that, but it turned out we did because they became more and more radicalized and more threatening. Our economy is booming again, and America is respected again all over the world, perhaps like never before. With the help of business leaders, innovators, allies, and partners like those in this room, incredible people in this room, incredible success stories, the most successful people in the world. We'll seize every opportunity, overcome every challenge, defeat every threat, and America and our allies will thrive and prosper and win like no nations have ever won before. You're going to win like you've never had before. So I want to just thank everybody very much, and I'm asked to take a few questions.
Here we go.
Unlike other politicians, they would like the questions screened.
Tay says, does this help the website? Yes. Every donation, whether it's on Rumble, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's through Streamlabs, everything. Maybe people don't know this because they don't watch me all the time, but like everything that any of my channels make goes back into the business. Like I don't take any of the money, and I'm not just like, not just blowing it on stupid stuff. Like it's all meant to go back into the company because I want to build something that lasts even after I'm gone. I want to, I want my family to, be able to take it over or something like that, or somebody on the team. So everything goes back into it. So I know people see like all these big donations and they're like, oh, this guy's living the life. And it's like, man, I stress out every fucking month because I'm spending so much money. But in order to spend money or in order to make money, you got to spend money. And typically business owners that are aggressive, that are trying to build, don't live a very lavish life. They actually spend most of the time stressed out because I have money going in a lot of different directions. And, with the hopes that, maybe in 10 years, I'll be able to sit back and enjoy it. But for now, it's the grind. It continues.
Don't ask for screening of the questions. You can ask me anything
Here it goes.
you want. You can talk sex. You can do whatever the hell you want.
Why did he say this? This is... I don't... Now that we've seen the lead up to this, it's 10 times better. Holy shit.
To take a few questions, and unlike other politicians, they would like the questions screened. I don't ask for screening of the questions. You can ask me anything you want. You can talk sex. You can do whatever the hell you want. I'm here for you. Whatever question you want, you can ask. So do you want to do that? Do we have some people handling this? Here he comes. Look at this man. Very powerful man coming up, ladies and gentlemen. We'll take some questions. Good.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. President. Thank you so much. And thank you for accepting to take 5 questions. We don't want to take too much of your time. So let's talk about business. In one sentence, where should the world invest in America right now?
Say it, what?
Where should the world invest in America right now?
Well, look, the one that they're going crazy about is AI. Now, sometimes you'll say
Trump taking super chats. Is this live? This was live a few hours ago, so we're just watching it a few hours past the VOD. Summer says, Jeremy with heart says, thank you. Hope to meet you someday. Thank you, Summer. Hopefully you can make it to Vegas, or we'll do the cruise, the G&G cruise when we get all that worked out. But thank you so much. Appreciate that. JDT199 says, Toyota, you're rich. Thank you. Spirian, thank you for the 199. Tay says, does this help the website? It does. Everything helps. Every donation, whether it's on Rumble here or wherever. Also on Rumble, Elite Super Grunt says Jeremy is gay. Tee-hee-hee. Litton says, show us your Rolex with $7,000 import tax. Yeah, my Rolex right here, which is a Samsung watch. So that's my Rolex right there.
let's go the opposite, because I've seen it. You know, everyone goes, but AI is going crazy. AI. So my family, we made Don, the whole family. Erica's doing a good job. All of us, Ivanka, we liked real estate. When you can make money in real estate, it's a great business. But I see some of these guys come into my office, they're wearing a T-shirt and they're 24 years old. Dad, he's got a net worth of $24 billion. I said, you gotta be kidding. Off a little contraption. So, but the money seems to be right now AI. And also, if you're in school, like you're going to the Wharton School or the Stern School or any of these great schools, I mean, the numbers that they're paying to go into that business is incredible. Where you see people getting a $10 million bonus to sign, like baseball players or football players. We're giving you a $10 million. I mean, I hate to say because it sounds ridiculous, but there have been some $100 million bonuses paid to sign. So I think probably if you're going to say one thing, AI, and just hope that it works, right?
AI and just hope that it works. This motherfucker.
Say because it sounds ridiculous, but there have been some $100 million bonuses paid to sign. So I think probably if you're going to say one thing, AI, and just hope that it works, right? You better hope.
So, Mr. President, what is the one leadership trait the world is missing right now? What is missing in leadership?
Well, it's winning. You got to win. You know, I've watched a lot of people, leaders, great leaders. And, you know, the one thing about sports is you break it down into, you know, a 2-hour period, something nice. You don't have to wait a lifetime to find out is somebody a winner or a loser. You got a lot of losers, mostly losers, fortunately. It's a good thing to have a lot of losers. I always like to hang around with losers, actually, because it makes me feel better. I hate guys that are very, very successful and you have to listen to their success stories. I like people that like to listen to my success. But
this is why him and Elon were bound to get in a fight, because it's the egos. Like, listen, nobody's more important than Donald Trump, but Elon Musk is the richest man in the history of the world. And he just gets richer and richer and richer. So you knew they were going to butt heads.
I find, and I found this, and I'm only kidding. I want to say that, sort of. But I find that people that win, it's much easier to lead when you're successful and you win. You know, Vince Lombardi was a very tough person, a very tough football coach. He was sort of a violent guy, actually. I knew him. But he won, and he got away with things because he won. You know, I used to say, if you win, winning helps you to become a better leader. People follow you if you win.
True.
And not everybody can win. Some people win and some people don't win. But when you win, it's a lot easier to lead.
Talking about winning, Mr. President, the world is.
He's 100% accurate about that. So, like, a classic example of that is Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick, who I feel is an incredibly overrated coach from, the NFL. And I like Bill Belichick. I'm not saying that he's a bad coach. But when he had Tom Brady as his quarterback, they were the greatest team that's ever existed. And when Bill Belichick was on top and he had Tom Brady as his quarterback, Bill Belichick was untouchable. Bill Belichick could do whatever he wanted when that team was winning. It didn't matter. He could get away with anything. But as soon as Brady retired, it all fell apart. And nobody really cares anymore. There's this element of Bill Belichick's a great coach, but he ain't looking too hot in college right now.
Entering in a new economic era.
People don't win, but when you win, it's a lot easier to lead.
Talking about winning, Mr. President, the world is entering in a new economic era. Who do you think are the winners and who do you think will be the losers?
Are you talking about as nations?
Yes.
Well,
or sectors?
The United States right now is the hottest country anywhere in the world, by far. And we've done it very quickly because we have a good system. Now, it's somewhat radicalized because the Democrats are really holding us back. And you better hope they don't get in because they'll destroy a lot of what we've built. But right now, the United States, as the future king of Saudi Arabia said, we're the hottest country anywhere in the world. I must say, I respect China greatly because it's amazing that with a system that in theory shouldn't work, we go to school and we go to the best business schools and we do well in those schools. And we read about free entrepreneurship and we read about all of these different things. But you look at China, how well they do, how well they manufacture. I mean, they manufacture cars so many that they actually have a contest for who can manufacture the least cars because they have so many cars. You have to have great respect for China for the job they do. Like them or not like them, you have to respect them.
So precisely, you will be going to China in May.
Yes, I'll be going. We had a meeting.
That's going to be interesting. So we'll obviously be covering that, but Trump is going to China in May. We will be covering that for sure.
And I called up President Xi. I get along really well with him. He even approved the TikTok deal. He said, I will not approve that deal to other people, not to me. And I thought it was good if we could keep it going. I like it because I'm the #1 person on TikTok. Can you believe it? I put a chart up there, another chart. You want to put another chart up? Like we did with fake news CNN. I said,
hey, that's crazy. Not only is a G&G review of One Piece the first thing that comes up, it's also at the top of the list of sites sourcing for their AI overview. I'm so big shout out to the crew for doing that, man. I'm so proud of that. I'm so happy about it.
I said, like we did with fake news CNN. I said, let's see what happens. So we got a group of very big investors, the biggest investors, and they really wanted to buy TikTok. And I did very well on TikTok in the election. I won the youth. I did tremendously well with youth because of TikTok and other things, certain interviews, etc. But I did very well. And I sort of developed a liking for it. And I was told that it will never be approved by China. You had to get approval. And I didn't really care. And then it got to a point where all of these very successful people were willing to pay a lot of money for TikTok. And I called up President Xi. I said, do me a favor. Will you approve it, please? It's good. It's good for China, good for us, good for everybody. Would you do me a favor? I know you said it was a hard no. And I said, I know you said no to everybody, but you haven't said no to me. Would you do me a favor? Would you approve it? It's good for China. It's good for us. You have a lot of big investors. They're investing in China also. They have a lot of money in China. I would appreciate it. He said, okay, I'll do it. Nice. It was very nice. And they bought TikTok, and it's going to do good. And it was done with the consent of China. We get along well with China. You know, China used to take big advantage of us, but they don't take advantage of us anymore. Now we compete very nicely with China. We put tariffs on China. The tariffs got too high. At one point, they were up to 145%. And I was saying, nope, put tariffs on that, put tariffs on for fentanyl, add 20%. And then one day I said, what's China paying now? Sir, they're paying 145%. I said, 145? That's crazy. I got a little carried away. So I got them down to 100. Then I took them down a little more. And I'll never forget, I took them down a little bit from 145 to 100. And the fake news said, Donald Trump collapses on China. They're paying 100%. Nobody pays 100. So anyway, we got it down. And now we have a great business relationship with China. I've always had a good relationship with President Xi, except for the COVID situation, because I wasn't thrilled about that. He wasn't thrilled either, by the way, but I wasn't thrilled. But I have great respect for him as a leader. And we had a deal. I was going there, and I didn't want to go during the war. I said, look, you know, we have a thing called a war, or as they would rather say, a military operation. It's for legal reasons. I say military because as a military operation, I don't need any approvals. As a war, you're supposed to get approval from Congress, something like that. So I call it a military operation, but we have that going along, and I'd like to delay it. So we delayed it a few weeks, so I'll be going very shortly.
Mr. President, we have few leaders here, business leaders from Africa. And of course, we have His Excellency, the President of Sierra Leone. What is your vision about Africa today?
Well, I tell you, it's got tremendous potential. Now, I've been hearing about this for a very long time, and I have a lot of friends that have bet the ranch on Africa. They're very smart. It's got tremendous earth. It's got tremendous value underground, which is a very important. So do we. So does we have the most oil and gas and coal and everything of any nation on earth. It's a big advantage. But Africa has tremendous value in its land. And if they can unify and get together, I think it's got tremendous potential. I have a lot of very smart friends that they're putting everything into Africa.
What do you think, Mr. President, is today the biggest mistake that leaders are making right now?
Not sticking together. I think that NATO made a terrible mistake when they wouldn't send a small amount of military armament, when they wouldn't send just even acknowledge what we were doing for the world and taking on Iran. I never considered it very risky, but war is always risk. You know, a lot of strange things happen in war that are very bad, but I didn't consider it. I know how great we're the greatest military by far anywhere. There was nobody close. I didn't think there was a big risk, but there's always surprises with war. They can be very bad surprises. I mean, wars are lost that should be won. Many wars are lost. You think a country is going to wipe somebody out and they end up getting wiped out themselves. So it's always risky. But I think a tremendous mistake was when NATO just wasn't there. They just weren't there. It's going to make a lot of money for the United States because we spend hundreds of billions of dollars a year on NATO, hundreds of protecting them. And we would have always been there for them. But now, based on their actions, I guess we don't have to be, do we?
Oof. Mr. President.
That sounds like a breaking story, yes, sir. Is that breaking news? I think we just have breaking news. But that's the fact. I've been saying that. Why would we be there for them if they're not there for us? They weren't there for us.
If you had one bet on the future, what would it be?
That the United States will, with good leadership, remain the dominant country anywhere in the world. But you still need leadership. I mean, look at the last 4 years were so bad with the bad leader. You need leadership. And, you know, in theory, you need to have that. You need the open, fair elections. You need a free press. We have a terrible press. We have a very corrupt media. Think of it. I got 96% negative stories, and I won in a landslide. And you know what that means? That means that the media has no credibility. You can't get mostly bad stories, fake stories. They were fake. The polls are fake. That's why I appreciate that one poll that I saw up there at 100%. She's never seen 100%. Nobody has. but you have to have a free and open media. And when a media can give you 96 to 97% bad stories, they write stories about it. Trump received 97% bad stories, and I won in a landslide. And that means very simply that the media has no credibility, because that can't happen. Now, I also have a voice more than most people. I can come up and talk about it and convince people without necessarily reading the New York Times, which is fake. I mean, if you read the New York Times, you would think we're doing badly against Iran. Remember, they have no Navy, wiped out. 159 ships at the bottom of the sea in 3 days. They have no Air Force, all wiped out. They have very few missiles left. Their drones are at a minimum. Their factories are gone. Their leaders are gone. The leaders are all dead. They're all dead. Nobody ever heard of the people that are left. And if you read the Times, you think we're doing poorly. It's almost treasonous, I have to be honest. It's almost treasonous. But fortunately, we have other media that's fair and honest and honorable. And you have to go out and do some of your own talking, because nobody else will. You know the expression? I have to sell myself because nobody else will.
My last question, Mr. President, is the same question I asked you last year. What do you want your legacy to be?
Well, I'll tell you what. So I told you that I settled 8 wars. That means millions and millions of people. And some of those wars were going on. One was 34 years, one was 32 years, one was 29 years, one was 22 years. They were long-term wars and a lot of people being killed every year. So I've saved millions and millions of people. And I mean, I know it doesn't sound right for me to say this, but I'd love my legacy to be made as a great peacemaker, because I really believe I'm a peacemaker. It doesn't seem it right now, but I think I'm a peacemaker. Okay?
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. President of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump.
Thank you very much.
I'm glad we listened to that. That was actually really good. So that was good to hear. So I'm happy we decided to do that. So good stuff indeed. Litton for 20 says you're doing it all wrong. You need to overpay the help, build RC tracks, and invest nothing back into the stream. Suffer bad, Jer. Oh, fuck. Linton says, oh, I got that one. Anthony for 5. Thank you, Anthony. Robot Snoob. Is that Robot Boobs? Says, shout out to Alex and congrats on the site's success. I appreciate it. We got to keep it going. We got to keep it going. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right. We're going to end it there. I was, Beardo and Jay are not available. I was thinking about ending this about an hour ago and doing a gaming stream. I decided to go another hour on here. So we'll call it a night here, but a good day of streaming. We were on Friday Night Tights. We had 2 CobraCasts today, so all good. Harley Dave says, pathetic. What do you want me to run a couple of solo matches? Like, that's going to be boring. So let's see. But all good, all good. But thank you guys so much. I will be live again this weekend, so don't worry. I'll be back. I'll probably see if Beardo's available tomorrow and maybe Jay, and we'll do a gaming stream. But I think Jay is out of town this weekend. So, but yeah, I appreciate all of you. You guys are the best. All the gifted memberships, insane amount of gifted memberships. And again, make sure you support us on geeksgamers.com. And all of your donations and everything help continue to fund what we have going on. I can't wait. But other than that, we're going to have a good weekend. I'll be back covering all of it. And let me see. Alaska Max says, you said gaming stream tonight. I mean, do y'all want to see me run Fortnite solos? Do you? I mean, is there really, like, is anybody interested in that? You want me to? Fuck it. All right, fine. I'm not even going to grift it. I'm not even going to ask for money. I'll just fucking do it. Well, I'll stream for a couple of matches. It won't be a long stream, but let's see here. Let me set this shit up. Dan, shut the fuck up. Might bring you a little heat, Dan. All right? Tweety Tone says, just run 1 to 4 solos and call it. All right. All right, we'll do it. We'll do it. Let me set this up really quick. Reuse. Okay, there. 12:10. We'll set it for 12:15. All right, I'll be over there in a few minutes. So if you guys want to hang out with me for just a few, I'll run a few matches. We'll do it up. Summer says 4th stream of the day. 4th stream of the day. That's a lot of freaking streams. I might have to did it set it up? Let me see. I may have to refresh for it to raid. Let's see. D-Day Cobra. I can't find it. Maybe because I just set it up. Let me refresh. Give me just a second. Cancel. Redirect. Huh. I don't know why I can't find it right now. That's really weird. Well, we have to do an out. Kate's going to be mad at me because I don't have an outro. You know, Kate usually gets mad at me if I don't have something. So I don't see my stream for some reason. Did I make it? It is public, right? Okay. That's really weird. One match. Yeah. What about streaming Titanfall 3? Why you got to do me like that? Why you got to bring that up? You know that hurts, right? You know that hurts my soul. Why do you have to do this? It's very much painful when you do stuff like that, okay? There it is. Okay. All right. Kate, I'm going to have to get you next time because now they're forcing me. It's the chat's fault, Kate. You can't get mad at me. So, all right, guys, I'll see you over there for a few matches. Have a good night, and I'll be back this weekend. Bye, everyone.